Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. On the return to the Premier League action after the international break, we are here at the Vitality Stadium where Bournemouth will take on the big spenders Chelsea. For the home side, under their new gaffer Andoni Iraola, they are yet to win in the new league campaign after 2 draws and 2 defeats. But last week they had an agonising draw where they went away to Brentford and they were 2-1 up, taking the lead in the 77th minute through David Brooks, but a 93rd minute equaliser from Brian Mbeumo led to a share of the spoils. It has been a real lacklustre start for Mauricio Pochettino and Chelsea after one win in their first 4 league games, but 3 of them have been away from home out of those 4 games they've started with. And for Chelsea, they have picked up 10 wins and they have been evenly split when facing Bournemouth, 5 at home and 5 away. And for the home side, they have only won 4 games against Chelsea in the Premier League, but 3 of them have been away from home. So for this matchup between Bournemouth and Chelsea, will it be the team in red and black to take all the points, or will the team in blue take their second win of the Premier League season? Very slow start for both sides. Bournemouth, under new manager, got rid of Gary O'Neill in the summer. He's now at Wolves, brought in Andoni Iraola from Rayo Vallecano from La Liga. The signs are there. Everybody wants to do high press, go at teams, but they've had four difficult fixtures to start the season. West Ham, they face Liverpool, they've taken on Spurs and Brentford. So it's not the easiest set of fixtures for Bournemouth. And for Chelsea, they've also had a semi-difficult start. They started off with that positive draw against Liverpool. Well, definitely a positive draw now, because Liverpool have got off to a great start this season with 4 wins and a draw. And then a really poor performance away at West Ham, especially the second half. First half, I didn't think Chelsea were that bad at the London Stadium, but then to pick up a very set 3 points that everyone should be picking up really at home against Luton, 3-0 victory. And then just when you think they could really kick on under Pochettino, get off to a strong start and start picking up the points, they go and pick up the defeat to Forest last week, 1-0. Anthony Elanga with the only goal in that game. It just really slows down early momentum for Pochettino that he'll want to try and build at Chelsea this season. You don't want to leave it too late where you're having to pick up points late on in the season to try and get in the top 4. So it's a game today where Chelsea really need to win, but then it's the same for Bournemouth as well. They don't want to go too many games without a win. Obviously, already 4 without a win, and if Chelsea don't win, there'll be 1 win in 5 as well. So both sides really desperate for victories, and I think it'll make it a really good contest this afternoon at the Vitality Stadium. I think it'll be a really, really intriguing game to watch, because I don't think Bournemouth are a bad side at all under their new manager, Iraola. Really high pressing tactics from the 41-year-old Spaniard. But it's all good having a decent playing style or a more positive playing style. But if you're not picking up points, you won't survive in this league at all. And with Iraola, the manager, if he doesn't start picking up some points, how long will he last? We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, with Pochettino in the opposite dugout, that's more of a project. By the looks of it, he should be there long term. But again, still, he needs to be picking up points pretty soon. Chelsea and Pochettino, again, you don't want to leave it too late where you're having a really negative start to the season. Because Chelsea, obviously, they've got to play today, of course, but they are currently 14th. A win would take them all the way up to 9th, in fairness. But no win, and they stay 14th. A draw would keep them 14th below Manchester United, who are in 13th, who have also had a slow start as well. It's just I think both teams could really do with a victory, and only one team could potentially win. Again, I don't think a draw would be great for either side, really. I think it'd obviously suit Bournemouth more, I think, picking up a draw today, and because again, Bournemouth, it's difficult games. I mean, every game for Bournemouth is going to be difficult because they are one of the smaller sides in all respect to Bournemouth this season. But West Ham, who've got off to a flying start as well, were doing pretty decently against Manchester City yesterday until the second half, where City kind of ramped it up and took over a little bit. But then having to travel to Anfield and then welcoming a bouncing Spurs, and then obviously going away to Brentford, who were pretty decent under Thomas Frank, and as well, they were winning 2-1 in that one against Brentford and then conceded in the 93rd minute. So you can kind of understand more why Bournemouth have struggled at the start of this season. But it's the Premier League. There's no excuses in the Premier League. If you do not pick up points, you do go down. We saw last season with Leicester and Leeds, two big English clubs, not surviving, not being able to survive, not picking up those points, leaving it too late, and down they go. It's a harsh league, and Bournemouth know that. They've been up and down plenty of times. Survived really well last season with the 15th place finish. 39 points it was in the end. Scored 37 and conceded 71. I do apologise for that noise. But kickoff is just under 4 minutes away. I'll go through the lineups in a little bit more detail as both sets of players emerge from the tunnel. The Vitality. Chelsea, led by Conor Gallagher for a second time this season. He captained the team in their League Cup game in the second round against Wimbledon. And for Bournemouth, it'll be Neto who leads the team out. The goalkeeper signed last season from Barcelona on a free transfer. But let's go through both teams in a little bit more detail as they are on screen currently. But we'll start with Bournemouth, captain in goal number 1, Neto, 34 years of age now, the Brazilian goalkeeper. On the right back is Max Aarons, signed for £7 million from Norwich, could rise to a potential fee of £12 million. And the two centre-backs is Ilya Zabani, who was signed in January of 2023 from Dynamo Kiev. And next to him is Lloyd Kelly, making his second start of the season, and both starts have come at home. His other Premier League start came at the 2-0 loss to Tottenham. Milo Kerkez also starts at left back, joined this summer from AZ Alkmaar for £15.5 million, and a midfield 3 of Lewis Cook playing as the holding midfielder. Ryan Christie just ahead of him with Philip Billing alongside him. Philip Billing has started all 4 Premier League games but yet to contribute a goal or an assist. On the right, returning and making his first appearance of the season is Dango Altara, signed in January as well from Lorient for £20 million. He's had an injury. He had a boot on his foot recently, so he was questioned if he was going to be able to start or even feature today, but he's in starting from the right wing position. Another returnee is Marcus Tavernier, who came off the bench against Brentford in their last Premier League game and provided an assist, but he starts from the off today, making his first start of the season, returning from a hamstring injury himself. And the man up front, formerly of Chelsea for 13 years, is Dominic Solanke, 6'2" striker, making his 180th appearance for Bournemouth. He's already scored twice this season at home to West Ham in the first game and one in their last game away at Brentford. And their bench is Radu, Smith, Senesi, Rothwell, Traore, Sinistera, Brooks, Semenyo and Kluivert. Only the 3 change as well. Senesi, Kluivert, Semenyo drop to the bench. And for Chelsea, they have got Robert Sanchez in goal, the back 4 of Malo Gusto, Axel Disasi, Thiago Silva and Levi Colville doing a job at left back. Holding midfielder, starting, making his first start in the Premier League, is Leslie Ugochukwu, signed this summer from Stade Rennais for £23.5 million, only at the age of 19. Did start and play the full 90 minutes against Wimbledon in the League Cup, but this is his first start in the Premier League, and he'll play in the midfield with Enzo Fernandez and today's captain for Chelsea, Conor Gallagher, as both Reece James is out and Chilwell is on the bench. So the captain and vice-captain are in the starting 11. And on the right, they're going to go for Mikhailo Mudryk, signed in January for £88.5 million. And this is his first start of the season. He was injured against Luton in the Premier League and he missed the game injured against Wimbledon. So this is his first start of the season. He wasn't able to score last season for Chelsea, still searching for his first goal at his new club. Can today be the day where he gets underway and off the mark, and he'll be playing on the wing with Raheem Sterling on the opposite side. He's got 2 goals this season already, Raheem Sterling, and they both came in the 3-0 home win to Luton. And up front it's going to be Nicholas Jackson. Also, just the 1 goal himself, did come against Luton as well, but he has started every single game so far for Chelsea. Up front, number 15, Nicholas Jackson. And their bench is Petrovic and Bergstrom to back up goalkeepers. Alfie Gilchrist is on the bench as a centre-back, only 19 years of age. It's his second time in a Chelsea first-team squad. Chilwell on the bench as well, returning from international duty, where he did play the full 90 minutes against Ukraine in England's 1-1 draw in their Euro qualifier. Ian Maatsen is also on the bench, left-back. He was meant to go to Burnley. They had a deal agreed on a deadline day for £31.5 million, but the Dutchman didn't want to leave, so he stays at Chelsea. New signing, £45 million from Manchester City, Cole Palmer. Also on the bench with Alex Matos, joined this summer for free from Norwich. The 18-year-old winger came through Luton and Norwich's academy, making his first appearance on a Chelsea bench. David Washington, the Brazilian striker, again signed from Santos this summer for £17.2 million. He's 18 years old. He's making his second appearance on the bench, where he was also named on the bench in their last game against Forest. And Ronnie Stutter as well, striker, has been at Chelsea for 4 years now, joined from West Ham. And he is usually playing for Chelsea's under-21s, where in the under-21s Premier League, he has got 5 goals in 4 games, and he makes himself on the bench for the first time in Chelsea's first-team squad. So they're the two teams, as we are about to get underway with referee David Coote. His 2 assistants are Timothy Wood and Mark Scholes. For official Tim Robinson, and VAR is Andy Madley. So at the Vitality, it'll be Bournemouth to kick off, kicking right to left, Chelsea left to right. Both teams in need of a win. Bournemouth yet to pick up 3 points. Chelsea only have 1 win in their first 4, and that came at home to newly promoted Luton. So both teams in need of a win. Who will pick up all 3 points? Will we get another draw? We'll wait and see. So for this first game in the Premier League this Sunday, Christie plays back to Sabani, who will take a diagonal ball down to the Bournemouth left, where it's headed away by Disasi, and out for a Bournemouth throw in midway inside the Chelsea half. And it'll be picked up and taken by Kerkez, Bournemouth's new left back. He throws it long down the line, looking for Solanke's peeled out to the left, tackled by Gusto, and it'll be a Bournemouth throwing deeper inside the Chelsea half here, taken quickly by Kerkez, gets the return from the throw-in. The left back making a run in behind, completes a 1-2, but he's stopped by Conor Gallagher, who tackles him strongly from the right back position, and he tries to get the ball away. Conor Gallagher is blocked by Philip Billing, and it'll be a throw-in for Chelsea. Strong defending there from Captain Gallagher, helping out his right back, Mauro Gusto, who's in currently for the injured Reece James. And Gusto takes the throw-in. It's laid off by Fernandez into Gallagher as he looks out to the left-hand side, and he goes to left back, Levi Colwill, who has to go back to his own goalkeeper in his 6-yard box, Sanchez, out to the right centre half of Axel Disasi. Scored on his debut for Chelsea against Liverpool in the 1-1 draw at Stamford Bridge. He plays it across to his goalkeeper in his 18-yard box, Robert Sanchez, another new signing from Brighton. One of many they've signed from Brighton, £25 million. He plays out from the back and plays it into Ugo Chukwu, a new signing himself as well. Mudryk plays it inside back to Ugo Chukwu, who is dispossessed in midfield by Lewis Cook, but he's dispossessed himself by Chelsea man, Levi Colwill, and they'll shift out to the right-hand side, break into the Bournemouth half, and a ball forward to Sterling, midway inside the Bournemouth half, goes inside to Gusto, who's drifting inside from right back, and he receives the ball here, moving it away from Ryan Christie, and slipping as he tries to pass it out wide right towards Sterling. It's picked up here by Altara, try to take on the Chelsea right back, but he's won it back well just inside his own half, and now he gets it forward to Sterling. Room to run into for the English winger. He's got Gusto on the overlap, takes it inside instead, and lays it off to Enzo Fernandez, straight down the throat of Neto in the Bournemouth goal. First strike of the game, and it's an easy save as Ugo Chukwu wins it back from Christie after a heavy touch inside his own half there for the Bournemouth midfielder. And it's now Jackson working with Mudryk, tackled here by Max Aarons, the new right back for Bournemouth, and Tavernier takes it away from Mudryk on the far right here towards the far side. Tackled though by Colwill, and it's won back by Chelsea on halfway. And Fernandez gets it out to Mudryk on the left, driving inside, playing it down the left channel, looking for Jackson in behind. Battling here with Sabani, and he wins it off Sabani here, Jackson, and backheels it into Mudryk in the box on the byline, pulls it across towards Gallagher, and he gets contact on it, the Chelsea captain, but he can't get it towards goal. Really good play there from Mudryk and Jackson. Good strength from Jackson on the edge of the 18-yard box to get it away from Sabani. And then the back heel into Mudryk, and he burst away with his electric pace towards the byline. And as he got away from Lloyd Kelly, he pulled it back, Chelsea number 10, towards Gallagher, who could only get a thigh onto it. And his finish was well wide of the mark. But it's positive from Chelsea. They actually won a corner from that Gallagher attempt, took a deflection as Gallagher scoops it in the box, chested away by Solanke and he takes it with him. Really good run here from Solanke as he's brought down by Sterling illegally. And it'll be a yellow card for the former Manchester City and Liverpool winger, and Bournemouth can breathe. As it's a quick start from Chelsea, an early shot from Fernandes from around 25 yards out, and then a chance there for Gallagher as he was beckoning down on the 6-yard box. But his strike was deflected away for a corner. 3.5 minutes in, still 0-0. But a positive start for Chelsea, who will be looking to beat Bournemouth for the 14th time in the history of the fixture. Only meeting for the 20th time in the history. So it's usually a game that Chelsea prefer, and they usually come out on top as winners. Bournemouth have only beaten Chelsea once at home in the Premier League, and that was back in January 2019, where they beat them 4-0 when Chelsea were under the management of Maurizio Sarri. As a ball down the left channel for Bournemouth has been brought down here by Dango Altara, but he's been caught offside. And in Chelsea's defensive third, they will have a free kick in the right-back area. With Malo Gusto to take, the French right-back. Goes back into Disasi and across into his own 18-yard box to goalkeeper Robert Sanchez. Faced Bournemouth once last season. And he won 1-0. So positive record for him against this club. As Disasi zips the ball forward into Gallagher. Out wide to Gusto, back inside to Gallagher. All inside the Chelsea half here as Bournemouth set up strongly. Halfway's Fernandes. A ball around the corner looking for Sterling. Cut out by Kirkez. And then Billing on the wide left tries to flick in inside towards Altara. Loses out and then Fernandes is caught in the face as he tries to break away on halfway. So it'll be a Chelsea free kick. It's caught there by Lewis Cook, the Argentine World Cup winner. Gusto played it in towards Fernandes, and as he tried to get it beyond Lewis Cook, he was just caught in the face there by the former Leeds midfielder. Sterling on the right-hand side, trying to get away from Solanke. Not fouled there. Went down too easily there, Sterling, and Kirkez can drive towards the right-hand side here, the left-back. And he just enters the Chelsea half, and it's on halfway now with Tavernier. Restarts for Bournemouth with Sabani. Back into Tavernier again. He's going to go for a ball in behind towards Solanke. It's cut out though by Disasi halfway inside his own half. And can be played forward to Sterling on halfway. Works himself away from the challenge of Billing. He's going to look up. He's got options to his right and he lays it off into Nicholas Jackson. Try to turn forward here in the right wing position here. The tall athletic striker. And just goes back into Gusto, who's halfway inside the Bournemouth half. The number 27. Plays it forward into Conor Gallagher. Towards the edge of the box. Plays a ball through looking for Jackson. Cut out though by Kirkez. And cleared forward by Bournemouth up towards Solanke in the centre circle. Shifts it out to the right to Tavernier. Lays it off to Max Aarons. And back it goes into the Bournemouth half with Sabani. But then forward into the Chelsea half through Ryan Christie. Has pressure from behind, so lays it back off into Sabani in his own half. The Ukrainian international. Playing it out to the right again in the right back area is Ryan Christie. Down the line it goes to Max Aarons. Avoids the challenge of Mudryk, but loses it with a heavy touch, and it's now into the centre circle with Conor Gallagher. Enters the Bournemouth half. He's got Sterling to his right, who's just telling him to relax play. Just slow the game down. And he's done that. Bournemouth get back in position. But Chelsea are settled with the ball in their own half with Thiago Silva, now 38 years old. The Brazilian, playing his 122nd game for Chelsea. Been at the club since 2020, where he signed on a free from PSG. Ball lifted over the top towards Conor Gallagher. Can't quite take it down on the edge of the box, and it can be brought away here by Lewis Cook in the left-back position for Bournemouth. Goes back into his 18-yard box with left centre-half Lloyd Kelly. He switches it out to Ilyas Zabani, signed from Dinamo Kiev. Aarons drives inside. Lays it off into Billing, who just drops slightly deeper for the ball here on the edge of the 18-yard box and goes to his goalkeeper Neto. As Enzo Fernandez is leading the press here for Chelsea, but they work it away from him nicely with Billing sending it out to the left to Lloyd Kelly, who will drive forward with the ball. Play it into Christie, who can get the flick in behind towards Kirkez, and the ball down the left channel finds Altara. Ball across to the edge of the box, cut out by Levi Colwill. Played into his own 18-yard box to Disasi, and Chelsea can play out from the back very calmly. Good play there from Christie to flick it in behind for and his ball did find Altara, but he's pulled back to the edge of the box, could only find Colwill. And Bournemouth just still try to find a way in behind this Chelsea defence. As Colwill clears from left back, it deflects up into the air, and Aarons brings it down for Bournemouth. Tries to find Christie, but he loses out. But the ball eventually drops to Christie himself again. But the ball down the right-hand side for Bournemouth is a little bit aimless. Couldn't find Tavernier, and it's now with Fernandez for Chelsea, who's been pickpocketed there by the slide tackle of Lewis Cook. And it'll be a throw-in for Chelsea. Inside their own half, on the far side. Taken by standing left back Levi Colwill, who got his first England call up in the recent international break, but didn't make any appearance. No minutes for him, but was definitely obviously looked at and was brought into the England squad by Gareth Southgate. Is just inside the Chelsea half. Billing is caught from behind by Conor Gallagher, just on the edge of the centre circle, inside the Chelsea half. Billing looked to take quickly, but he's going to just slow the game down and allow Bournemouth to get their big boys forward. The likes of Lloyd Kelly from the back, who's 6'3", and then Ilya Sabany, the other centre back, he's 6'2". Going to look to try and work something here. It's dead centre on the pitch here, about 40-50 yards away from goal, so a chance to get the ball in the box. Plays it out wide to the left to Christie, not being pressured, so he's allowed to get a free cross into the box towards the far post, towards Zabani. Challenged with Colwill and Ugo Chukwu, but all three players missed the ball, went over their heads and out for a Chelsea goal kick just under 10 minutes in, and it's still Bournemouth 0, Chelsea 0. Chelsea probably being the better side so far with the chances. One main one through Conor Gallagher from 6 yards out, but came off his thigh and deflected off a Bournemouth man for a corner. And here he is, Conor Gallagher, in the right wing position here, midway inside the Bournemouth half. Goes back into Gusto, 10-yard pass, then on halfway he's gone to Ugo Chukwu, who takes it away from Christie, takes him on really nicely, then plays it to his left in the centre circle to Enzo Fernandez, who's looking forward for a ball out to the right channel again, and he finds Gallagher on the edge of the box, driving inside, and then pokes a ball through. Sterling's in, and he drags it really far wide. That's a shot, not a cross, and it nearly goes for a throw-in. Max Aarons can clear on the opposite side. What a big chance that is for Sterling. And the ball goes out for a Bournemouth throw. Mudrik's chested touch goes out of play. Really good play from Gallagher to spread the pitch and get out wide. And as he drove inside, he just dinked a ball in behind Kurdkes, the Bournemouth left back, and he found Sterling. And as he turned forward, he definitely went to shoot and not cross. For me, I think it's a shot. And he pulls it well wide. And again, nearly dropped for a Bournemouth throw-in on the opposite side. But it's another chance where Chelsea have got him behind the Bournemouth defence. Mudryk got him behind on the left, and Sterling's found himself through on goal on the right. So they just need to shore up a little bit, Bournemouth, because Chelsea do have the quality to break in behind. As Chelsea are in their mint new away kit. As Disasi brings it forward for Chelsea from the back. Plays it forward into Gallagher. Crosses the halfway line and plays it forward to Raheem Sterling. Head up, charging at goal. Edge of the 18-yard box. Enters the box. He's still running with it. He's tackled by Altara. Bournemouth failed to deal with it convincingly as Max Aarons' clearance is dropped to Gallagher. Works it out to the right in the final third to Gusto. He's got forward from right back. Try to take on Kurdkes. Plays it back into Gallagher. And then back once more towards halfway line to Disasi. Across to the left to Thiago Silva. Forward into Mudryk. Into Jackson, tries to take it on the turn, but he's tackled by Sabanya. And it's worked out to the left to Altara for Bournemouth, who will drive away with it, get away from Ugo Chukwu. Tries to find a ball in behind. Just misplaced. Intercepted by Thiago Silva. Tavernier was the one making the running behind. Couldn't be found. And now Gallagher spreads it again out wide right to Sterling. In the final third, 1-on-1 with Kurdkes. Slows it down and plays the ball inside to right back Marlo Gusto. It's now with Ugo Chukwu. On halfway. Plays it into Thiago Silva. All Bournemouth men behind the ball. He goes to the right to Gusto. Back into his own half with Axel Disasi. Thiago Silva, 10-yard pass forward into the Bournemouth half to Ugo Chukwu. Fernandez keeps it moving. Back to halfway again with Colwill. Forward to Mudryk on the left. Not got many options, but he tries to find Jackson and he finds him and he completes a 1-2. Then gets it back into Jackson again. 22 yards away from goal. Decides to strike off the post. I think the goalkeeper Neto didn't think that was as close as it was. Really good build-up play though between Mudryk and Jackson on the left-hand side. Mudryk got away from Aarons, played it forward into Jackson, who laid it back off into the Ukrainian, then a first-time pass back into Jackson, and around 22 yards away from goal, he pulled a shot, Wasn't hit very convincingly. Scuffed it a little bit. That's why I think Neto was thinking it was going wide, but it went off the outside of the post and away. A lot closer than I think Neto thought it was. And again, Chelsea definitely looking like the side who are going to score the first goal. Hopefully, for their sake, they can get that ball in the net and not allow Bournemouth back in this game, as a long looping ball in behind is given towards Solanke, and he wins it on the Bournemouth far left, away from Gusto, on the corner flag, trying to win a corner, kicking it off the Frenchman, who gets there ahead of Solanke, and wins a free kick as Solanke bundles him down from behind. It was just a hopeful ball in behind the Chelsea defence there for Solanke, and he gave chase to it. But Gusto was there to deal with it in the corner flag, and Chelsea take that free kick to Sanchez in the Chelsea goal. Silva forward into Ugochukwu from the holding midfield position, drives forward towards the Bournemouth half. He's still driving with the ball, enters the Bournemouth half, pokes it forward towards Jackson, cut out by Sabani. Billing goes back to Lloyd Kelly in the 18-yard box. And Bournemouth regain possession. Decent little run there from Ugochukwu, but just overran it, unfortunately, for Chelsea. As Aarons completes a 1-2 with Tavernier on the right-hand side, stopped by Mudryk, poked out for a Bournemouth throw-in, just inside their own half. Thanks to everyone here. If you could like and subscribe, that'd be fantastic. Just under 15 minutes in, it's Bournemouth 0, Chelsea 0. Chelsea having the better of the chances, but yet to find the back of the net. Next commentary as well is this coming Wednesday. Bayern Munich against Manchester United in the Champions League. And then the next commentary next weekend is also again Manchester United. It is their trip to Burnley. So 2 Man United commentaries coming to you back to back. And then the one after that in the midweek is Rochdale against Chesterfield. We're going to go to the National League. Try to cover all the leagues on this channel. So make sure you're here though on Wednesday. Bayern Munich taking on a struggling Manchester United who just sit in front of Chelsea before this kick-off today. But Bournemouth are struggling themselves. Yet to have a shot on goal. 15 minutes in. Chelsea have had 3. 1 hitting the post through Nicholas Jackson, who spent last season at Villarreal, where he scored 12 league goals. 9 of them came in his last 8 league games. So really ended the season strongly, Nicholas Jackson. As Ugochukwu has it in the centre circle, plays it forward to Mudryk. Takes it away from Aarons, really good play from Mudryk. Bursting down on goal, centre of the field, edge of the box, pokes it through towards Gallagher in the box. It's cut out and deflects out for a corner. Really positive start from Mikhailo Mudryk. Obviously came with a massive price tag and a lot of pressure. But that turn away from Max Aarons was really, really clean. And as he bared down on goal, he wanted to shoot. Decided the pass was the better option. And that pass was deflected out for a corner, which he will take on the Chelsea left. It'll be an in-swinger with his right boot, with his pink boots on. Can't miss them. Takes it short, gets the cross on the angle. It's deflected onto the roof of the net. And it's another corner for Chelsea. Had Neto worried there. That deflected cross from Mudryk. Definitely starting really strongly, the Ukrainian, who did feature in both of Ukraine's games in the international break. Takes it short again. It's to Enzo Fernandez. Goes to the edge of the box to Conor Gallagher. 30 yards away from goal. Gets it back out to the left to Enzo Fernandez. Into the space to Mudryk. He's going to have to cross it on his left foot. It's a low one, which can be dealt with on the edge of the 6-yard box by Max Aarons. It'll be a throw-in for Chelsea towards the corner flag. Mudryk is currently on the throw. Not got many options at the minute. Not much movement from his side. Throws it back towards Ugochukwu. Can't get there ahead of Solanke, and he takes it away from Ugochukwu. And Solanke battling away from Gallagher. Gets the ball forward to Billing. Tries to poke it out wide right up towards Christie. Takes a slight touch off Colwill. And it'll be a throw-in for Bournemouth just inside the Chelsea half in front of the technical areas at the Vitality Stadium, where both Adoni Iraola and Maurizio Pochettino are barking instructions to their teams on a very wet day down in Bournemouth. Chucking it down at the minute. With Lewis Cook, he's brought down there by Enzo Fernandez. Free kick for Bournemouth on their right-hand side. It's about 15 yards inside the Chelsea half, so still some work to do to get it in the box, but through this free kick, they could send it long. Get a ball in there, send up the centre-backs. Try and work a goal. And in it goes. Cross towards Altara with the strike. Big save from Sanchez. Forced to Billing on the left-hand side. He is left-footed, so he can cross with his natural left foot. Crosses headed away to the edge towards Tavernier. Takes it away from Sterling. Edge of the box. Shoots himself. It deflects. Stings the hands of Sanchez again. And it's another save for the Spaniard. And Bournemouth come close. Not sure what happened from the free kick because they weren't showing it. It was a quick one taken down the right channel to Christie, who got a ball across the box first time to the far post where Altara met with a lunging, diving save from Sanchez, who was able to parry the ball away. And he was also able to save Tavernier's strike from the edge. But really quick thinking there from Christie. And Bournemouth with that free kick to get the ball across the box and to take it quickly. Try and catch out Chelsea, which they did. And Altara from around 6 yards out on the far post probably should have scored. But Sanchez really came out and dived at it, spread himself big and made the save. And then was also equal to the Tavernier shot as well. Stays 0-0. Both sides have now had chances. Chelsea have had more of them. That was Bournemouth's first set of chances and probably should have scored. As Bournemouth pick up the ball in their own half, midway inside their own half, with right back Max Aarons. Goes backwards to the edge of his 18-yard box with Ilya Zabanya, who plays a ball forward into Christie, who's drifted out to the right-hand side, enters the Chelsea half, plays a ball through and in behind, and he finds Marcus Tavernier, getting away from Colwill, pulls it back into the box where he looks for Solanke. It's gone behind him, and it'll be Axel Disasi to clean up for Chelsea. And it'll now be to Enzo Fernandez. Curls the ball out wide right to Sterling on the halfway line. Bundled to the ground by Kerkez. It'll be a free kick for Chelsea. Well won by Raheem Sterling, who's had a chance himself in the box. Dragging a shot or a cross wide of the goal. I'm not sure what it was. It was so far wide it looked like a cross. But we're just under 20 minutes in. It's Bournemouth 0, Chelsea 0. At the Vitality Stadium. Can just hold over 11,000 fans. Usually called Dean Court, but due to sponsoring circumstances, it's called the Vitality Stadium. As Chelsea just settle in possession in their own half with Ugo Chukwu taking a bit too long to play the pass, but he's able to work himself away from Christie and play back to his own goalkeeper Robert Sanchez, who's in all yellow today. Out to left back Colwill. Down the left channel looking for Mudryk. He keeps it away from Aarons and gets it back into Colwill, who'd run forward, but he loses out to Bournemouth, and here's Tavernier drifting again inside. He's tackled unfairly there by Colwill. Colwill thought he'd got the ball, but he definitely took the man first before getting a touch of the ball. And Tavernier wins the free kick for his side. Came out with the ball there. Tavernier was drifted inside, and Colwill took the ball first. Took the man first, and then the ball. And concedes the free kick on loan last season, Levi Colwill to Brighton. And they were very heavily interested in bringing him back to the Amex, but Chelsea know that he's going to be a big part of their future. At 20 years of age, signed a new contract in August until 2029. But again, just on the edge of the centre circle here, just in the Chelsea half, Lewis Cook is stood over this free kick. Again, dead centre in the field, so they're going to have to work it out wide left for an angle, but they go back in towards Lewis Cook, who then dinks it out to the left in the box towards Altara, who wins the header off of Gallagher and will win a goal kick. I thought that would come off Gallagher last, but it must have been off Altara with the last touch. The Burkina Faso winger, who's playing on the left-hand side. And it's Tavernier on the right. Dango Altara, making his first appearance of the season. Signed in January from Lorient, where he scored 1 goal for Bournemouth in 19 games, where he played last season, and it came against Spurs in a last-minute win, 3-2, back in April, which helped them add those 3 points on to survive, as Gusto is now in the Bournemouth half, in the final third, plays it forward into the right to Sterling. Everything's to his left. He tries to take on Kerkez, and he does do so. Byline, pulls it across, blocked by Kelly, goes back out to Gusto on the edge of the box. Keeps it alive here for Chelsea. 1-2 with Gallagher. He spins out Tara. Great play from Gusto, who pulls it across himself. It comes off Sterling, who goes for it. And it's a blocked shot, cleared by Bournemouth towards the edge of the box, where Christie has been fouled there by Ugo Chukwu. And again, another big chance for Chelsea, and it goes, by begging. Sterling again this time. It's well worked from Gusto, spinning Altara with a 1-2 with Gallagher. As he pulled it across, it came off Kerkez, which made it bounce up towards Sterling. He couldn't quite catch it, as he had to try and control and then shoot. Took it on the chest, tried to swipe at it, but it came off the back of Lloyd Kelly. And then Bournemouth were able to deal with it, winning a free kick. It's Tavernier down the Bournemouth right, trying to take on Colwill. Midway inside the Chelsea half. He has to go back to Max Aarons, who's now on halfway. And he finds his centre-back, right centre-back, Ilya Sabany. It's now out to the left to Lloyd Kelly. Enters the Chelsea half. And dinks the ball up towards Solanke, who brings it down on the edge of the box, and it finds Christie. Not quite in the box himself, but he pulls it into the box to Solanke. Lays it off as he's got his back to goal. Can't find Altara, but it drops to Kerkez. Finds Christie. on the left, crosses, far post, lifted in towards Tavernier. It goes over his head, and it'll be recollected by Max Aarons with a big slide challenge on Mudryk. And it's a goal kick for Chelsea. Really lively start to the game. I'm enjoying this game. Both sides struggling, needing wins. And you can tell that they're needing wins because they are going for it, trying to score goals. Christie that time. First cross was a pull back to Solanke, who ended up finding Kerkez, who got it back out to Christie, who could then cross with height towards Tavernier at that far post around 8 yards out. Just couldn't quite get his full head on it. I think it just skimmed off the top of his head. And away it went for Chelsea as Mudryk is battling with Max Aarons. He loses out to Max Aarons, and it's Bournemouth on the ball again, just inside their own half. All Chelsea players currently behind the ball as Lloyd Kelly brings it forward. Plays the ball inside into midfield. Loads of room for Christie, about 25 yards from goal. Plays it into Solanke on the edge of the box. Works it through towards Altara on the left. Bit of a heavy pass. Couldn't quite keep it under his spell. And as he tried to avoid the goal kick, his sliding challenge wasn't there enough. And it's a goal kick for Chelsea. Good play there from Bournemouth. Christie found in between the lines there in midfield with loads of space. And he was able to drive forward and find Solanke. He couldn't quite find that final pass towards Altara. A bit too heavy for him. And it dribbled out for a goal kick eventually for Chelsea, where it'll be their number one, Robert Sanchez, to take. He goes out to the right back, Malo Gusto. As Bournemouth press, they go back into the 18-yard box with Disasi. Sanchez again in the 6-yard box. Across to Thiago Silva. Not got many options, but he goes to the edge of the 18-yard box to Gallagher. Unmarked, so he's allowed to drive forward inside his own half. He's going to look to the right, goes inside instead to Sterling. He's just drifted into the centre of the park. He's got Gusto on his far right-hand side. He's charging in the box. He finds the French right-back, who pulls it across again into the 6-yard box, but can't find anyone in there. Collected by Neto. Sterling was making a late run into the box. Nicholas Jackson was already there, but the pullback from Gusto was poor. But you can see the potential in Malo Gusto, the right-back, who's having a good run of games now due to the injury of Reece James. He could definitely get forward well, the 20-year-old fullback, as Bournemouth are trying to play out from the back themselves, with Lewis Cook, who's just dropped in between the two centre-backs to try and help Bournemouth build from the back. It's now Kerkez, the left-back, still inside his own half, goes back and inside into Billin, who goes across to the Bournemouth right now to Sabani, who will drive forward as he's pressured by Jackson, but he finds a forward pass into the Chelsea half through Max Aarons towards the final third. Drives, edge of the box now, plays it through to the right-hand side to Christie towards the byline, gets onto his left foot, lifts a crossing towards Billy, he brings it down with a beautiful touch, can't get the strike away, blocked by Disasi, and it'll drop to Gallagher on the edge, who will again bring it forward for Chelsea. Being chased down by Solanke, lays it off into Sterling, Gusto back inside to Gallagher, just inside the Bournemouth half, towards halfway now. It's Gallagher on the ball as Bournemouth get players back into position. That's just inside the Chelsea half of Ugo Chukwu, 19-year-old holding midfielder. Read that he uses his body well. He has good positioning to receive the passes, which is needed for a holding midfielder, because they're the one who usually glues the team together with the build-up play from defence into attack. Far left-hand side now is Mudryk. Has to go back to halfway again to Thiago Silva, who's now on the ball, being pressed here by Christie, so lays it off into Colwell, who has to go all the way back to Robert Sanchez, who only 3-4 years ago was playing in League One on a loan move to Rochdale. Now he's Chelsea's number one at the minute. 25-year-old Spanish goalkeeper. He's still got the ball inside his 18-yard box. He curls the ball out wide right into Axel Disasi, who himself, number 2, centre-back, did make 3 appearances at the World Cup for France. Disasi, 1 start, and it was in their final group game against Tunisia. Thiago Silva, bringing it forward from the back, playing it in between the lines, into Jackson. He's dropped for the ball into the Bournemouth half, and he looks left towards Mudryk, can't quite release it. Really good, strong challenge on the edge of the 18-yard box by Marcus Tavernier, and it can now be brought away by Max Aarons for Bournemouth on halfway. Just lays it off into Ryan Christie. It's now with Tavernier, 10 yards inside the Chelsea half. Has to go back to halfway and across to Lewis Cook. It's now Lloyd Kelly. Out to the left to Kerkez. Got everything to his right on the near touch line here. Short ball towards Billin, and he's just caught there by Gallagher. Just able to get his body in between ball and player, and he's able to win the free kick. But he did get a kick in the Achilles there from Gallagher. But it was a short ball from their left back, Milo Kerkez, signed from AZ Alkmaar. Played it short into his teammate Philip Billin, who was able to win the free kick from Gallagher. And it means Bournemouth remain in possession on halfway with Billin in the centre circle. Lifted ball in behind. Looking for Altara, but headed away by Gusto as far as Solanke, about 25 yards away from goal. Worked out left to Kirkes. Inside to Christie's. Touch is poor. It's allowed Gusto to clear up towards Sterling. Can't win it ahead of Lewis Cook, who nods out wide left to Kirkes. Midway inside the Bournemouth Chelsea half, It's Kirkes. Goes back to halfway to Kelly. And across to Zabani. Just Chelsea doing a bit of defending at the minute. Having to stay in shape, allowing Bournemouth to knock the ball around as they're just inside their own half. With Sabani out to the right to Billing, who's took up a right back position here. Goes down the line. Finds Marcus Tavernier, who tries to take a turn. Can't quite do so. He's brought to the ground by Thiago Silva on halfway. It's a free kick for Bournemouth, just towards their right-hand side. It'll be centre back Ilya Sabani to take. Again, he tries a quick one. Down the Bournemouth right channel towards Solanke, nodded down by Silva into Colwill. He needs to clear here, Colwill, as he lifts a ball into Thiago Silva towards his 18-yard box. Again, plays a short ball to left-back Colwill, who will drive 10 yards and then find a lifted pass in behind, but no one's there for Chelsea to chase. And we'll run right through to Neto in the Bournemouth goal. Real nice commentary there. Thank you very much. What team he's going to win? I think Chelsea's quality will probably shine through. And if I had to put money on it, I'd probably say Chelsea will win. But Bournemouth have showed glimpses as the game's gone on and they've grown into the game. So I think anyone can win this because Chelsea aren't being very convincing in front of goal. They've only scored 5 goals so far this season in their first 4 games. There's Billy on the right, plays it inside to Tavernier on the edge of the box. Once more into Christie, who will let fly. Shot blocked by Disasi. It's lifted up towards Nicholas Jackson, who just loses out to Cook. And then Kelly's header's left it to Sterling, who tries to feed it through on halfway to Jackson, but he's tackled strongly by Sabani. And it'll be Bournemouth to have possession of the ball inside their own half. Lloyd Kelly, big switch out to the right-hand side. It's a header, though. That's won by Colwill. Nods it out for a Bournemouth throw-in midway inside the Chelsea half. Taken by number 37, new right back at Max Aarons. Goes towards the halfway line where it's Lewis Cook to work it away from Enzo Fernandez. Has a lot of time on the ball now. Just goes over to his left to Kelly. Firm pass out to the left to Altara. He's got the overlap of Kirkes. He'll try and take it on the inside himself. Edge of the box, right foot. He wants to shoot, and it's a horrific attempt. That's gone for a throw-in. As he was driving in onto his right foot there, Altara. You could always see he was off balance, but the shot was really bad. Throw-in it goes for. You never like to see that for any footballer when they have a shot and it ends up going out for a throw-in, but the intention was there from Altara to drive inside and try and test Robert Sanchez, which they've only done twice in the first half an hour of the game. So back towards the corner flag here in the left back position. Levi Colwill's got a throw in for Chelsea. Throws it down the line towards Gallagher, met by a challenge from Billing, but he's able to lay it back off into Colwill. And Colwill clears off of Billing for another throw in for Chelsea, just about 10 or 15 yards further forward. But as Billing blocked the Colwill clearance, he might have gone over his ankle here. He's in pain here, the Danish international, Philip Billing, who's really hurt himself. As Colwill was clearing the ball, Billing was jumping to block it, and he's just gone onto it. He's just kicked the ball onto his ankle, and it's left him in a lot of pain here. But play's continued. Chelsea taking the throw, and Billing's off the pitch, so play can carry on, and it's with Ugo Chukwu on the halfway line. Gets out to the left here to Colwill. All Bournemouth plays behind the ball, getting into shape, ready for Chelsea to try and break them down. Out to the right back, Gusto. Inside to Gallagher, lays it back off into Gusto. Back into the Chelsea half it goes with Disasi. Silva. 5 yards into the Bournemouth half. Looking for a ball, goes simple into Ugo Chukwu. Walk to the right hand side. Sterling. Into Gusto, he's got forward, midway inside the Bournemouth half, drives inside with Gallagher to complete a 1-2 towards the edge of the box, but his touch is heavy and it can be cleared by Lloyd Kelly. Straight up to Robert Sanchez, as it looks like Billing may have to come off here. He's hobbling down the sidelines. Doesn't look like he's going to re-emerge back onto the field as Ugo Chukwu gets it in between the lines with a pass to Conor Gallagher, who again just likes to drift out to the right-hand side, lays it off into Nicholas Jackson, edge of the box, centre of the field, works it out to the left to Colwill, to Mudryk. One-on-one with Aarons. Gets it into the box. Gallagher, touch, shoots. Saved by Neto. Christie can clear out for a goal kick. came off Mudryk last. That's a real big chance. It was way too easy there for Chelsea. They worked it down the left with Mudryk, who poked the ball inside. It was meant for Colwill, but it avoided the left back who'd got into the box, showing that Chelsea liked to get numbers forward. And it fell to Gallagher, who in the 18-yard box was allowed to take a touch and then strike, but it was straight down the middle of the goal. And it allowed Neto to make quite an easy save in the end, and Christie then to clear off Mudryk for a goal kick. But Gallagher's got to find the corners there. He's got to do a lot better. Bournemouth, poor ball. Fernandes tries to play it in behind for Sterling, blocked by Kirkes. And here he's Billing. He's back on, moving freely, sprinting away from Fernandes, but his ball inside's been picked up here by Thiago Silva on halfway, who's dribbling forward into the Bournemouth half. On the right-hand side, goes for an early cross towards Mudryk. It's a caught ball there by Neto. And it'll be Bournemouth to have possession of the ball. Really good work from Mudryk's had a great first half. He's created a lot of chances, especially that one. Just going down the left-hand side in the box, then just stabbing the ball inside towards Conor Gallagher, who had the touch, and then he's got to find corners. It was straight down the centre of the goal. And it was an easy save, really, in the end for Neto, when it should have been a more challenging one. As Bournemouth tried to play down their right-hand side there into the Chelsea half, but the ball was too heavily hit. And it goes out for a Chelsea throw-in midway inside their own half. Should have been 1-0, that, for me. Really poor from Conor Gallagher, who's yet to score this season. Did score against Bournemouth away from home last season in their 3-1 win, which was the last time these two sides met. It was 3-1. Gallagher scored in the 9th minute. And then Vigna, who was on loan at Bournemouth, scored in the 21st. And then 2 late goals for Chelsea under Frank Lampard gave them the win, with Badiashile in the 82nd minute and João Felix wrapping it up in the 86th. So, and they did the double against them last season. Chelsea beat them at Stamford Bridge as well, 2-0. Goals from Havertz and Mount, who are obviously no longer at the club. As Thiago Silva challenged for a header there, he fell quite heavily on his back. And he's back on his feet to take the free kick that he won from Solanke for the challenge. But he just seemed to be in a bit of pain originally, as his ball out towards Gusto is a challenging one for Gusto to deal with. But he nods it down the right-hand side for Chelsea towards Gallagher, who loses out to Lloyd Kelly on halfway. It's now with Altara, tries to take on Gusto. Can't do so. Tackled by the Frenchman. It's now played forward to Sterling, who's just inside his own half. Completes a 1-2 with Gallagher. Now he's in the Bournemouth half, charging in at goal towards the edge of the box. Plays it through towards Jackson, but it's cut out on the edge of the 18-yard box by Lloyd Kelly, who will play it down the line for Bournemouth towards Solanke. Loses out to Disasi because of a foul. And it's a free kick for Bournemouth on the left-hand side. Again, another free kick taken quickly. Long ball in behind, looking for Solanke. Silva has to deal with it, goes back to Sanchez, who plays a first-time pass with his left foot to Colwill on the edge of the 18-yard box. Really calm goalkeeping there by Robert Sanchez, because it was a challenging ball that he was given by Thiago Silva, who has got a contract at the club until the end of this season. Signed it in February of this year. As he's just keeping the ball here for Chelsea. About 10 yards in front of his 18-yard box. Goes to his left to Colwill. Then back into the 18-yard box it goes to Robert Sanchez. Only the 1 clean sheet so far for him this season. And that came to Luton, because they did concede in their second round win against Wimbledon at home in the League Cup. They won that one 2-1. Here's Enzo Fernandez on the far left-hand side here, towards the halfway. Fouled there by Lewis Cook. Fernandez takes it quickly into Ugo Chukwu, who's just inside the Chelsea half. Quickly plays it behind him into Thiago Silva. It's now with Axel Disasi, who did face Pochettino multiple times when at Monaco, and when Pochettino was manager of PSG, and he had a good record against him in the 4 league games he faced against Pochettino's PSG. They won 3 times, Monaco, when Disasi played. So obviously Pochettino knows him well, knows he's a good centre-back, hence why they brought him in, as Sterling and Gusto try and link up down the Chelsea right, but Gusto overruns it, and it's a throw-in for Bournemouth. Right on the corner flag, though, so it's a chance for Chelsea to push up the field and try and force a mistake from Bournemouth, because they're so deep inside their own half. With Milo Kirkes to take the throw-in. The left-back, Hungarian international, throws it long down the line, and it's helped on by Solanke. Helped on once more by Altara. As far as Thiago Silva, who brings it down calmly and has to play it back himself deep inside his own half to Robert Sanchez. Wasn't taking any chances of losing possession there, Thiago Silva, as he was the last line of defence. On the edge of the box is Colwill. Pressed by Christie. Has to go back to Sanchez. Plays it back into Colwill again in the left back area. Christie will try and press. But Colwill will drive forward with the ball. He'll keep driving. He'll play a ball down the left channel in behind, looking for Jackson. Kelly gets there first and plays it back to his own goalkeeper. And Bournemouth are back in possession. Good defending there by Lloyd Kelly. He'll be making his second start of the season. As Zabani's been tackled from behind there by Jackson. There's a free kick for Bournemouth. Jackson not happy because he was about to be played in behind there. But I think he just caught him from behind there as Zabani was trying to drive forward with the ball. And here is Zabani with it. Midway inside his own half. Not really being pressed by Jackson. So he's allowed to take a long lifted ball forward. Headed down by Colwill. On this far, there's Tavernier who loses out to Ugo Chukwu. Gallagher back to Disasi. On halfway, Sterling tries to turn Kirkez and he doesn't because he's been brought down by the Hungarian. It's a free kick just inside the Bournemouth half. Foul on Raheem Sterling. Just a big push in the back for Sterling. Knocked him off balance. Then a bit of a pull of the shirt as well from Kirkez before the big slide challenge where Kirkez got nowhere near the ball. It's been a ball now. Put out to the right-hand side. Gusto pulls it into the edge of the box of Sterling. As he drives into the box, he's met by the brick wall of Kirkez. And he can't get the shot away. Kirkez clears up towards Solanke. He's drifted out to the left. Lays it off into Altara. Tries to go the long way around Disasi, but can't get around the big French centre-back. And Chelsea win the ball back in their own half. Altara tried to knock it past him and run round him, but Disasi said no. And Chelsea have the ball again. Just over 5 minutes left of the first half, plus added on time. Bournemouth 0, Chelsea 0. Both teams have had chances. Chelsea probably been the better team with more of the chances, but Bournemouth haven't looked horrendous as they win the ball back off Mudryk, who tries to regain it for his side, but the advantage has been played as the ball's fell to Christie, who takes on Enzo Fernandez and pokes it towards goal. And it's well caught there by Sanchez. Bit of a toe peck there from Christie as he entered the box, but it was a save that was needed to be made by Sanchez, and they roll it out to Fernandez, out to the right to Gallagher, who's looking for his options as he drives into the centre circle. Lays it out to the left to Fernandez again. Passes it once more on halfway to Colwill, who has to slow it down and go back to Fernandez. Goes back once more himself to Thiago Silva, and all Bournemouth men can get behind the ball here. There's Ugo Chukwu again, ball in between the lines towards Mudryk, who has a heavy touch, loses it, tries to make up for it with a slide tackle, and he's now been booked by David Coote. Not quite working for him there, Mudryk. He's not been bad this first half, the Ukrainian, but that heavy touch allowed Tavernier to get there ahead of the Ukrainian. And as he tried to recover the ball, he went in with a slide tackle and caught Tavernier late. And that does mean both Chelsea wingers are on bookings now. Sterling picked one up within the first minute or so, taking down Solanke for a counter-attack that Bournemouth tried to get away from. And then Mudryk there with a late challenge on Marcus Tavernier. Played out to left back. Kirkez drives inside for Bournemouth, just inside the Chelsea half. Has to go back to halfway to Kelly as he was being pressed there by Ugo Chukwu. The under-21 French international, Ugo Chukwu, played in the international break for the under-21s. Kelly, still on halfway, ball forward, into Christie. Out to the left to Kirkez. In the final third now for Bournemouth, they work it to Altara. Tries to play it inside, but he's tackled by Gusto well too easily. Ball drops to Sterling, who's in the right-back area. Goes to the edge of the 18-yard box now to Ugo Chukwu. Ball into Fernandez, round the corner to Jackson, lays it back off into Fernandez. Great play here from Chelsea as they try and counter. Fernandez ball over the top, lifted, down the right channel. It will find Jackson, who's just on the edge of the box towards the byline. Being forced away from goal by Altara, and then he's tackled by the winger, who in the left-back area will concede the throw. Let it go out of play, thinking he was going to win a throw-in for himself. But it goes out for a Chelsea throw in the final third. Well, won that from Jackson, chasing the ball down. Was tackled, but didn't give the ball up. And he's won a throw-in for his side in a dangerous position, deep inside the Bournemouth half. Malo Gusto to take the number 27, the right back for Chelsea. Throws it into Gallagher, lays it back into Gusto. In the final third here for Chelsea, they try and work it down the right-hand side. Gallagher, one-on-one with Altara. Got Gusto inside, he plays it into the right back, but he's been pickpocketed by Billing. Plays it forward towards Solanke, tackled by Disasi, and the ball stays alive for Chelsea, well inside the Bournemouth half. As Gallagher was charging away there down the right, but the foul's been given against Solanke, as he was just fouling Gusto and Gallagher. Chelsea try and play it quick. but the referee wasn't ready. So it'll be a free kick for Chelsea. Just towards the right-hand side. Taken quickly by Fernandes. Down the right-hand side to Sterling, who's one-on-one with Altara again. Try to take on the Bournemouth winger. Not making it easy for him, so he has to go back to Gusto here, Raheem Sterling. Ball inside to Fernandes. Back out wide right to Sterling. Here's Gusto. Left-footed, cross towards the far post where it will be a long one. It will be well away from any man in a mint blue shirt for Chelsea. And it'll be a goal kick for Bournemouth. Poor ball there on the weak foot there, Gusto. He has showed how he can get forward and get pullbacks into the box. None of them have come off yet. And that cross with his weaker foot was really poor. It'll be a goal kick for Bournemouth. That's going to be taken by Neto. It's a short ball to the edge of the 18-yard box to Kelly. Back to Neto. We've just got over a minute left until we get any added on time. Neto clips the ball forward. Met by Ugo Chukwu, whose head has gone out to the left towards Mudryk, but it's volleyed away by Aarons towards halfway. Helped on by Tavernier as far as the volley of Thiago Silva, who finds Enzo Fernandez. Goes back to Gallagher, who works himself away from Billing, brought down by the Dane. And it's a free kick for Chelsea again. Now with Enzo Fernandez towards halfway. Goes back and out to the right to Disasi. Gusto. Inside to Ugo Chukwu, just inside the Bournemouth half. Keeps it away from Christie as Ugo Chukwu looks like he's caught Christie in the face there. Didn't see much in it, so David Cook's allowed to play to continue. Not sure why Christie was holding his face there. I don't think he was caught there by Ugo Chukwu. As Chelsea continue to play. Mudryk, about 50 yards away from goal. He's really far away, Mudryk. Just trying to get some touches of the ball. The Ukrainian, as all Bournemouth players are currently behind the ball, as Enzo Fernandez does play it forward to Mudryk. Ball forward to Jackson, flipped towards Fernandez, he tries to bear down on goal, but his heavy touches allowed Kelly to clear away and win the free kick as Fernandez just clipped Kelly as he cleared the ball. See the ideas that Chelsea are trying to create as there's 1 minute of added on time, but Bournemouth have got all the answers so far defensively. It's a free kick for Neto. About 10 yards in front of his 18-yard box. The Brazilian, the captain, signed a new deal, new 3-year deal to keep his stay at Bournemouth till 2026. So that'll be when he is aged 37. So still must be a really fit goalkeeper. Neto, who's been at the likes of Juventus and Barcelona previously. It's a big goal kick, a big free kick from him. He's gone up towards Solanke, who shoves Ugo Chukwu in the back, but no foul's been given because Disasi ends up having the ball on the edge of the 18-yard box. He's been pressed here by Solanke, so has to clear it quickly. It's not a convincing clearance. It will drop out for a Bournemouth throw-in, 10 yards inside their own half. As we've played that minute of added on time, and the referee sees that as enough for the half-time whistle to be blown. And at the Vitality Stadium, it is Bournemouth 0, Chelsea 0. Lively start to the game for Chelsea. They had a timid effort from Enzo Fernandez from 25 yards out, but the first main chance came 3 minutes in where Mudryk played a nice bit of play with Nicholas Jackson. He got the pull back into the box towards the 6-yard line where Conor Gallagher met it. It was deflected off his thigh off a Bournemouth man for a corner. Kicks, that was Chelsea starting off the game very brightly, very early on, and then 10 minutes later they hit the post with Nicholas Jackson linking up really well with Mikhailo Mudryk, which they've been doing nicely a couple of times, Mudryk and Jackson. And as he drove in towards the edge of the box, he let fly early, scuffed it a bit Jackson, and Neto, I don't think quite knew it was going to go as close as it did. It went off the outside of the post and away, and Bournemouth got away with that one. And then Bournemouth's first chance came 20 minutes in. They were struggling to get shots away, but a quick free kick on the right-hand side was played down the right channel into the box for Christie, who got a ball across goal right towards the far post where Altara from 6 yards out tried to blast it into the goal, but Robert Sanchez in the Chelsea goal came out, spread himself big to make a really fantastic save on the Altara shot, and that was Bournemouth's first big chance of the game. And other than that, that's all the first half wrote. One big chance for Bournemouth, a couple of big chances for Chelsea. Both have had 5 shots and both have had 2 on target. But at half time, with Chelsea with more of the possession, it is still Bournemouth 0, Chelsea 0. Like I say, Bournemouth, just the one big chance with that Altara shot which was well saved by Robert Sanchez. Chelsea have had a few chances themselves with the Gallagher early on 3 minutes and then the Jackson shot that hit the post. Sterling and Gusto have worked well on the Chelsea right flank. They've created a couple of half chances here and there, but still remains 0-0 at the Vitality. And both sides looking like they can create and score, more so Chelsea, but they're away from home, and away from home games can be hard in the Premier League. You can dominate as much as you want, but when you're the away side, it only takes one chance for the home side. It takes a tackle, it takes a decision to go in their favour for the tide to turn in the home side to get on the away team's back. So they need to be careful. They need to try and get that goal, Chelsea, get ahead, because Bournemouth at home, if they get that first goal, the tide will turn, the momentum will change, and the home side will really be up for it. So if they can try and score, then they'll put themselves in a great position to win the game. But the more it's 0-0, the longer the game goes, the more belief Bournemouth will get that they can actually go on and win the game themselves. So Chelsea just have to be careful with that. But it is half-time. It is still 0-0. Lively game. Both teams playing positively, which is good to see. Bournemouth aren't sitting back trying to defend, and neither are Chelsea, but Pochettino teams don't usually sit back and defend. They like to create chances, play attacking football, and that's what we've seen, but just yet to see a goal. I'm going to just go for a minute or two, and then I'll come back and we will go through the other Premier League results from the weekend. We'll discuss any major talking points and everything like that. And I will tell you, if you weren't here before, I'll tell you what commentaries are coming up on the channel in the next few weeks. Just give me a minute or two and I'll be back to discuss the weekend's results and the commentaries coming up on the channel. There we go, we're back. But obviously, Chelsea have come under heavy criticism due to the amount of money they've spent, and rightly so, because this summer transfer window they have spent £452 million, and overall under Todd Bowley's ownership they've spent just over £1 billion, I believe. But they've bought a lot of young players with potential. And I haven't watched much of Chelsea this season, to be completely honest. I watched them against West Ham the first half and I thought they were okay. It was the second half where they really capitulated. And in this first half, you can definitely see the potential there, 100%. You can tell they're buying for the future. If they keep a manager like Pochettino on board, where he can really develop them, and he can really, start to work with them and get them playing a certain way. I think in the next few years, I think Chelsea will be a really big team and a challenging team to have to face. I just think at the minute they are really at the beginning of this project, and you can tell because, a team that have gelled and have been together for a while and are full of confidence. They go in at this game 1-0 at least. But you can see, you know, the work that's being done. You can see the potential there with because I think Malo Gusto right back. I think I've been really impressed with him. He looks really a positive player. Mudryk, I don't think, has been horrifically bad that first half when he got on the ball. Tried to make things work, linked up nicely with Jackson. And like I say, Mudryk and Jackson, they're both 22 years old. They've signed contracts until 2031 probably. They've probably signed 7-8 year contracts. So they're here to stay. So the more they play, the more they link up like they were that first half, the better they'll become. So I definitely see the potential in this Chelsea side, which you'd hope after spending £1 billion on what is a majority, very young players. But I do believe the it will come. It will probably take a lot of time, because when you bring in so many players that are so young, like it does take a lot of time, and I think patience in this case will be rewarded. But who knows, because football can change, where there's no guarantee Pochettino will stay as Chelsea manager for a long time. Who knows? Anything can happen in football. But if Pochettino sticks around and these players on big contracts do see those contracts out, I do think Chelsea in a few years will be a scary team when these younger players have started to develop properly and get the best coaching they can. But let's go through the Premier League results this weekend, because we've had a few outstanding results. Let's go through them here. So we had the early kick-off with Wolves against Liverpool, which I unfortunately missed, but an early lead for Wolves it was, and Gakpo got the equalised and late goals from Robertson, and then the Harvey Elliott strike, which was deflected, giving them the 3 points. And to be honest, I don't think Liverpool played really well from what I've heard, but you've got to win matches. It doesn't matter. If you're Liverpool, no matter how you win, you've got to get those 3 points. And, that back four that Liverpool were playing, Gomez right back, Matip centre back with Quansah and Robertson, it's not a great back four to play in an away match in the Premier League, but they came out with the 3 points, and they are off to a flying start. Liverpool, they are third, joint second really with Tottenham. Just that Tottenham have scored more goals than Liverpool. 13 points out of a possible 15. Good start for the Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool. Unfortunately, Luton's wait for a Premier League point continues. They went away to Fulham and lost 1-0. Carlos Vinicius in the second half. We don't really expect Luton to stay up, if we're going to be completely honest. They probably haven't brought in enough Premier League quality. They've brought in Championship quality, which might be showing where their thinking is in terms of their future. They probably do understand that they will more than likely be back in the Championship last season. So they've brought a lot of strong Championship players, which is probably clever. Because with Luton, it's about money, because they're such a small club, and you've got to respect that. So if they go down in the Premier League, they want to come straight back up to get the Premier League money. Do you know what I mean? So the fact that they've bought so many good, really strong Championship players means if they do go down next season and they do come straight back up, the Premier League money comes back in. And if they just keep yo-yoing, build that money up, build the funds up, that's when they can then start investing big in Premier League quality players. So I think it's a long-term project for Luton. I think I know what they're trying to do. Obviously, they would love to stay up this season, obviously, but I don't think they'd be too disheartened if they go back down, because obviously the Premier League is such high quality. Luton, I just don't think can quite match that quality. Yet, obviously, we had a late drama at Tottenham, 98th minute and 100th minute goal from Richarlison and Kulusevski to give them the 3 points there at home to Sheffield United. Probably a harder earned victory than they probably would have expected at home to Sheffield United, but they won the game. That's the main thing. It's all about the mindset, something that Ange Postecoglou is bringing to Tottenham Hotspur. That really strong mindset of not giving up. So Tottenham, again, 13 points out of 15, second in the table behind Manchester City, who went to West Ham, who have got to a flying start this season, and took the lead at half-time, 1-0, Ward-Prowse, but Doku with a brilliant goal from the left-hand side for City, his first for his new club. Got the equaliser, then Bernardo Silva and Erling Haaland scored 2 later goals. But if you're just looking at the stats here, Manchester City 29 shots, 15 on target, 70% possession. Only so many teams can withstand that pressure for so long until you crack and break, and that's what City were able to do to West Ham, get them to break, and got the 3 points in the end. So they're 15 points out of 15, 5 wins out of 5 for Manchester City. And then Brighton, back-to-back wins at Old Trafford. Won there last season, won here this season. Welbeck, Gross and Pedro with the 3 goals for them. Getting a little bit tense at Manchester United, a little bit messy, like it has been really for the last 10 plus years since Ferguson left with the Glazers, but United currently sit 13th. Could go lower, depending on if Chelsea or Bournemouth pick up 3 points. Ugly start. 2 wins out of the first 5, and that win against Wolves was a very fortunate win. They shouldn't have won that game. Everyone knows that. Should have been minimum a draw for United in that game. So they've got off to a really slow start. I am commentating on their next 2 games though. My next 2 commentaries are Manchester United, Bayern Munich on Wednesday, and Burnley away on the Saturday night, I believe. I'll have a look on that actually. I'll have a look now. Yeah, Saturday night against Burnley. So make sure they're for the next 2 commentaries. So United need to try and switch up, but they've got 2 difficult fixtures coming up away from home. Bayern Munich and Burnley. Aston Villa, again, late drama in that one at home to Crystal Palace. Their 3 goals came in the 87th minute, the 98th minute and the 101st minute to beat Palace 1-0. Villa keeping up their half-decent start. 3 wins, 2 losses, 9 points, sits 7th in the league. Currently just behind Crystal Palace, who have got off to a decent start themselves, really. 2 wins, a draw and 2 losses, but that was it's a disappointing loss, that for sure. Leading until the 87th minute, then conceding 3 so late on, but I'm sure Palace will be absolutely fine this season and they will survive with flying colours, but waiting for a mid-table finish. Lucky victory really, I think, for Newcastle. Penalty from Callum Wilson, 64th minute, but it's a win that Newcastle needed. They are currently 11th, 2 wins out of their first 5. Obviously a very difficult start to the season for Newcastle, but they didn't win convincingly, but they won. That's the main thing. They need to win when you're struggling like they did. Obviously losing so dramatically and so agonisingly against Liverpool at home. Going to Manchester City and losing, and going to Brighton and getting embarrassed. So it's a win they needed. It doesn't really matter how they got it. They did get it. And they are hopefully going to start their season now a bit more positively. And then the games we've had so far, we've got Bournemouth, Chelsea second half coming up now. Got Everton and Arsenal at 4:30, and then we've got a game tomorrow night as well. Nottingham Forest taking on Burnley, 2 teams who are in need of wins themselves. Forest off to a great start. They'll want to build on their good start. A win for them could take them all the way up to 8th. And for Burnley, they are 3 games, 3 losses. So Burnley desperately need a win, like Luton, because it does look like those 2 will be the ones going down at the minute to the Championship. But they're a little run through of the fixtures so far in the Premier League this weekend, as both teams emerge back out for the second half. It's Bournemouth 0, Chelsea 0 at the Vitality Stadium. Don't see any changes being made currently for either side, but if there is any half-time changes, I will let you know. Philip Billing was able to continue after hurting his ankle after a Colwill clearance. As Andoni Iraola, the Bournemouth manager, head coach, is being interviewed just before the start of the second half. A new initiative maybe in the Premier League to get some half-time interviews from the head coaches. Can't hear what he's saying as we're about to kick off, but interesting there how managers are being interviewed at half-time. Don't really agree with that. I think you should just let the head coaches and managers just focus on their job. It's Chelsea kick-off, kicking right to left, Bournemouth left to right. And it's Chelsea in possession, deep inside their own half with Axel Disasi. And we are underway in the second half. It looks like the rain has settled at Bournemouth. Still wet now, very wet surface, but no rain bouncing down on the Vitality. As Colwill left back goes down the line towards Mudryk, ball inside towards Ugo Chukwu. It's a lifted ball up, so it's a hard one to control, but it comes up a Bournemouth man last. And it'll be a throw midway inside the Bournemouth half for Chelsea. As we still wait the first goal of this match. As Ugo Chukwu, left back, is trying to turn away from Christie. Gets it to Colwill, pokes down the line towards Mudryk, who loses the ball. Runs out of room there on the left-hand side, and it's a Bournemouth throw-in deep inside the Chelsea half. It's taken back to Max Aarons, who goes into his own half with a pass to Sabani. And it's now settled with Lloyd Kelly, who did take Senesi's spot. The Argentinian centre-back on the bench, signed last season from Feyenoord for £12.5 million. So Lloyd Kelly comes in for this one. It's Kirkez. Back to Lloyd Kelly. Fakes the pass back towards the goalkeeper, then drives forward and plays a ball down the left channel. It'll be Solanke to give chase towards the corner flag. Robert Sanchez will get there and he'll let the ball run for a goal kick. Solanke nearly getting there ahead of the Spanish goalkeeper, but Sanchez was pretty calm there, knew that the ball was going to run out of play. But last season, Bournemouth did start with did end the season with 4 losses, with an aggregate score of 7-1. Didn't end very well under Gary O'Neill. But their first 4 games of that season under Scott Parker was a win against Aston Villa at home, but then a 4-0 loss to Manchester City, 3-0 to Arsenal, and then a 9-0 loss to Liverpool, which put the nail in the coffin for Scott Parker, as he did make a few comments about how his squad isn't good enough for the league, which was proven wrong by Gary O'Neill, as they did finish 15th on 39 points, winning 11 games last season out of the 38, something they're yet to do this season, win a football match in the Premier League. Did win in the second round of the League Cup against Swansea away from home, and their next game in the League Cup will be at home again to Stoke City. As is a Bournemouth throwing midway inside their own half, with Max Aarons to take. Spent a lot of his career, Max Aarons, at Norwich, was part of that under-21 side who won the Euros in the summer, making his 75th Premier League appearance. Max Aarons, as he clears the ball down the line for Solanke to give chase. It's a header by Colwill, and it's helped forward towards Enzo Fernandez on the halfway line, who's been fouled there, caught in the face. Free kick for Chelsea. Lewis Cook, the guilty party, in a Bournemouth shirt. It's great to see Lewis Cook playing for Bournemouth. He's suffered 2 ACL injuries in his career, Lewis Cook, as Enzo Fernandez feeds it into Mudryk, edge of the box, tries to shoot, caught there by the referee, by Max Aarons, and the referee gives a free kick. Mudryk stays down right on the edge of the box again from the left hand side. Mudryk just driving inside, trying to get onto his stronger right foot to shoot. It was a heavy touch which allowed Max Aarons to go in for the slide tackle and didn't win the ball. So a rightly given free kick there by David Coote, as Mudryk was bearing down in towards the 18-yard box looking to shoot. Instead it was brought down by Max Aarons, and it'll be a free kick for Chelsea. Right on the edge of the box, just to the left, so an angle for a right footer to get it up and over the wall. Sterling stood over it with Mudryk. Mudryk yet to score for Chelsea, as I think the Ukrainian is walking away from it. So it'll be Raheem Sterling to take. He's got 2 goals so far this season, both coming against Luton at home. He's got a fantastic record against Bournemouth, Sterling. He's played them 14 times. He's beat them 14 times. And he scored 11 goals in the process, 9 of them in the Premier League. His first Premier League hat-trick of his career came against Bournemouth for City at the Etihad Stadium. So he loves a goal against Bournemouth. He loves playing this team. And can he score from this free kick? On the edge, right-footed, Raheem Sterling goes for the far post, off the bar, falls to Colwill, who will strike home, but the flag's up. Raheem Sterling struck from the free kick towards the goalkeeper's side. I think he hit the bar and the post. It deflected across goal towards Colwill at the far stick, who was able to get it home. Let's have a look here. Sterling curls it towards the keeper's side, flat-footed Neto. It came off bar and post. That's an unbelievable free kick. So unlucky how it didn't go in. But as Raheem Sterling struck the free kick, it did go into the path of Colwill, who was coming in from an offside position. But Raheem Sterling curls it off bar and post, off the line as well. So unfortunate for Sterling. And as Colwill followed up, putting it into the back of the net, he was in an offside position. But how Sterling hasn't scored that, it's unbelievable technique, off bar and post. The free kick was very much like Dimitri Payet, if you might remember his free kick against Crystal Palace at the Bowling Ground, you know, where he aimed it at the keeper's side and he kind of looped it into the far right corner. Very unfortunate for Raheem Sterling there. off bar and post. Colwell did put it in the back of the net, but he was in an offside position here. As Bournemouth try and get away. Down their right-hand side, it's a lifted ball down the right channel. It finds Tavernier, who's driving inside here, 30 yards away from goal. Passes it out to the left to Billing. Now into Altara. Inside looking for Kirkez in the box for Bournemouth. Heavy ball, goal kick for Chelsea. Sterling looking for his 12th goal against Bournemouth in his 15th appearance against the Cherries. But was denied by post and bar. Chelsea play out from the back. Ball down the left channel looking for Ugo Chukwu. Gets it ahead of Christie, turning one way, then the other, playing it down the left-hand side for Jackson, who backheels it into the path of Colwell, who's got forward. Chance for Chelsea. Mudryk is running ahead of him. Colwell will take it on his own. He'll pull it back towards Enzo Fernandez on the edge as he misses out to Lewis Cook, who can clear forward to Tavernier. And Bournemouth can now counter-attack. Really poor decision there from Colwell. Poor passing. It's now Bournemouth's chance to score a goal. Christie gets it out to the right now to Tavernier on the edge of the box. Cuts onto his left foot. Strikes it towards goal. And it's always going over the crossbar. And another goal kick for Chelsea. Both teams probably should have done better there. A waste from Tavernier and a big waste from Colwell, whose final decision to make the pass towards Fernandez was a poor one. And it allowed Bournemouth to get forward, but they couldn't capitalise. Chelsea get forward. Ugo Chukwu finds a ball in behind in the box for Jackson, who tries to shoot with his left. He slips on the turf and the shot goes well wide. That's a goal kick for Bournemouth. Great play there from Ugo Chukwu, driving from the Chelsea half into the Bournemouth half, slipping it through in behind Sabani for Nicholas Jackson. It was a tight angle on the left there, and as he tried to shoot, he slipped. Didn't catch it correctly, and his shot went well wide of the post. Bournemouth start from the goal kick in their 18-yard box with Lloyd Kelly. Goes back to Neto. He's still in the 18-yard box with Sabani. Right back on the ball, Max Aarons taking it away from Mudryk. Playing a 10-yard pass backwards to Sabani. Goes to the edge of the 18-yard box to Lewis Cook, who keeps it moving to the left-hand side to Lloyd Kelly. Firm ball out to the left to Kirkez. Great touch in front of him as well. And then a ball in behind looking for towards Solanke. Went right across the goal. And it can be collected by Sanchez. Solanke couldn't quite get on the end of it there. Formerly of Chelsea. Dominic Solanke, he's yet to score against his former side. This is the 5th time he's playing them. Scored in his 100th appearance in the Premier League against Brentford before the international break. It's Max Aarons bundled to the ground there by Mikhailo Mudryk. Be a free kick for Bournemouth, taken quickly inside towards Tavernier, pressured by Fernandez. 10 yards in front of the halfway line is Lewis Cook. As it's Bournemouth with possession. They've scored 4 goals themselves so far this season, but they've conceded 8. Bournemouth, as the ball forward towards Christie's been cut out by Gusto, and it deflects out to the central centre-back of Thiago Silva. Enzo Fernandez, far left-hand side on the halfway, plays it forward into Mudryk, back into the path of Fernandez. Mudryk again, inside looking for Ugo Chukwu. Cut out though by the slight challenge of Christie. It's now with Lewis Cook. Lifted ball again, looking in behind for Solanke. You see what they're trying to do with that ball in behind, but they've not found Solanke yet. And it can be rolled out by Sanchez to Conor Gallagher. Been at Chelsea since the age of 8. Made late substitute appearances in both of England's games in the international break against Ukraine and Scotland. Conor Gallagher, who's had 4 loan spells while at Chelsea. 1 at Charlton, Swansea, West Brom, and more notably at Crystal Palace, where he scored 8 goals in the Premier League for Crystal Palace that season. Here he is on the ball, centre circle. Outside of the boot ball, swinging it out to the right-hand side to Malo Gusto. He's got forward from right back for Chelsea. Midway inside the Bournemouth half. Has to go back inside to Gallagher. Ball forward into the box to Sterling. Pokes it inside, looking to try and get a shot away with his left foot, but he's cut out by Sabani. And it's cleared by the Ukrainian. Straight back to Chelsea, though, with Thiago Silva on halfway. Forward to Ugo Chukwu. And curls it out to Gusto again. Thought about the early cross, but drives forward instead and takes on Kirkez, the Bournemouth left back. Then works the cross. It's a low one, and it's cleared on the 6-yard line by Lloyd Kelly. And it can be cleared up towards Solanke. Disasi will get there first. The former Monaco centre-back. It's a risky ball, which Robert Sanchez can only clear for a Bournemouth throw-in, trying to avoid a Bournemouth corner. Good pressure there from Solanke on Disasi. Forcing Him to go backwards towards his own goalkeeper. He then conceded the throw-in. It'll be taken by Kirkes. Right towards the corner flag here for Bournemouth. So they are deep inside the Chelsea half. Taken into Altara. Back into the throw-in taker, Kirkes. 1-2 with Altara. Kirkes crosses it, lifted. Header won by Disasi to the edge of the box where it's helped on by Mudryk. As far as the chest is Lewis Cook, who works out to the right to Max Aarons. Furthest right is Tavernier, who receives the ball now. Left-footed ball inside to the edge to Lewis Cook. Tries to dink a ball in. Cut out by Gallagher originally. Then not cleared convincingly as Lewis Cook can shoot in the box. But straight down the throat of Robert Sanchez. And it'll be a Chelsea ball in the hands of Robert Sanchez. Lewis Cook tried to score. He's not scored for a while, Lewis Cook. His last goal came in a 3-2 win against Bristol City on the 2nd of April 2022. He's not scored for 533 days, Lewis Cook. As Max Aarons gets it ahead of Mudryk, charges down into the box towards the byline, pulls it across, low to the edge, and it's looking towards Christie, but he can't find it. Malo Gusto not fouled there, says the referee. Won back by Bournemouth, heavy touch by Kirkes. Low ball in towards Solanke, takes a touch. It drops in the box after tackle by Disasi. As Thiago Silva tries to clear, it comes off Christie and goes away for a goal kick for Chelsea. A crazy last 30 seconds there. The pullback fell to Gusto on the edge. He tried to drive away. The referee said he was challenged fairly by Christie, so Kirkes took over on the left. Got a low ball in towards the 6-yard box. It was tackled by Disasi. Thiago Silva tried to play out from the back with a ball that was deflected off Christie on the 12-yard line, on the 12-yard penalty spot. But the clearance and the block went off of him and wide of the post for a goal kick for Chelsea, who have currently got a man down, who is Malo Gusto, who stayed down after the challenge from Ryan Christie. Let's have a look here. Probably was clipped there, probably was a foul, but I think he landed awkwardly on his right foot, Gusto. Christie had a few nibbles at him trying to win the ball back. It probably was a free kick, realistically. It was a free kick. I don't know how the ref's not seen that. I think it was Christie's knee as he was falling, just trodden on the foot of Gusto, who's felt the contact and just getting some cold spray on it. Hopefully he can continue, as Chelsea don't really have a right back to come on for him. They've got youngster Alfie Gilchrist on the bench, 19, but he's a centre back, and then they've got Chilwell and Maatsen, who are two left backs. Obviously, Reece James currently out with injury for Chelsea. Caicedo obviously not in this squad as well. He's not been able to return from an injury that he picked up, I think, on international duty. Missing a few players who are close to return. Benoit Badiashile, who scored at this ground last season, he's close to returning. He's been out with a hamstring injury since May. Badiashile, Cucurella is not in the squad. Caicedo, Chukwuemeka, Madueke, Armando Broja, he's close to return. Been out since December with a ACL injury, which he got in a friendly against Aston Villa during the World Cup. So they are missing a lot of players, Chelsea, despite bringing so many in. As we're back underway, with Conor Gallagher heading it forward for Chelsea into the Bournemouth 18-yard box, where Lewis Cook has to do a centre-back roll and clear away with his left boot, and he finds Altara, who nods it forward on the halfway, looking for Thiago Silva, looking for Dominic Solanke, but it drops to Thiago Silva, and it's a great ball. Oh, Disasi won a ball into Gallagher, drives forward. He's got Gusto on the right, but he feeds it to Sterling instead. He tries to chop inside, stopped by Kirkes. He finds the pass though to Gusto, who's okay to continue on the edge of the 18-yard box. Goes back once more to Ugo Chukwu. Gallagher out wide right to Sterling. He's the furthest wide for Chelsea. Plays a ball inside to Gusto. Left-footed ball looking for Mudryk's run into the box, but it's cut out by Kelly. Cleared by Kelly. Up towards Solanke, but again it's won by Chelsea centre-back, this time Disasi. And with half an hour to go, it's still 0-0. Bit of a slower first 15 minutes. Not as many big chances than in the first half. Colwell on halfway at left back. Goes back to Thiago Silva. Into Ugo Chukwu. He finds Thiago Silva once again. Finds a ball into Jackson. He's dropped deep for the ball towards the centre circle. He's been fouled by Sabani, who was just following his man there into the Chelsea midfield. Just clips him from behind. Looks like Chelsea are going to make the first change. Number 20, Cole Palmer. They're signing from Manchester City for £45 million. It looks like a new signing for Bournemouth is also going to be brought on. Justin Kluivert, brought from Roma for £9.5 million, could rise to £10.25 million. As Sterling has been fouled on the right-hand side there by Milo Kerkez, and he's picked up the booking, the Hungarian left-back. Ball went short towards Sterling. And it was a bit of both, really. I think that's a bit harsh that he's been booked for that. Both were pulling each other's shirt. I think Kerkez was a bit strong in the challenge, but I think it was actually the pulling of the shirt. He wasn't letting Sterling go. Probably was a yellow card and a foul. That's why I'm not a Premier League referee. So, Milos Kerkez with the booking, pulling the shirt of Raheem Sterling. So, free kick for Chelsea. On the right-hand side, Mudryk and Fernandes is stood over it. Great chance for a cross. Too far out and too wide for a shot. But Disasi's in there. Thiago Silva, Colwill, Ugo Chukwu, Nicholas Jackson. So there's big lads in there to aim for. Mudryk takes it. It's a wicked cross with pace towards Disasi. Header won by Bournemouth man. Drops to the edge of the box to Conor Gallagher, who's back once more to Fernandes. Out to the right now to Mudryk. Got Sterling in support. Feeds it to Raheem Sterling. Still quite away from goal. He tries to take on Ryan Christie here. Sterling knocks it around the Scotsman. Not for long though. Wins a throw-in as well there, Christie. As he got around Sterling to kick it away for a throw-in. It came off Sterling last, and Bournemouth have the throw-in themselves. And here come the two changes. Mikhailo Mudryk, who's not been too bad tonight, or today, will be replaced by Cole Palmer. He's already got 2 goals himself this season. Cole Palmer, but that was for Manchester City against Arsenal in the Community Shield, and then an equaliser in the Super Cup against Sevilla, which they went on and won. Did come off the bench at the exact same time last week against Forest, a few weeks ago against Forest, Cole Palmer. And then returning from injury himself, Dango Altara, the Burkina Faso international winger, is making his first appearance of the season. He will be replaced by Justin Kluivert, who did start the last 2 games before today, where he dropped to the bench. He had an unbelievable record, an unbelievable career so far, Justin Kluivert, in terms of where he's played. Only at the age of 24. In the last 5 seasons, he's been at 5 different clubs in 5 different countries. He's been at Roma, RB Leipzig, Nice, Valencia, and now Bournemouth. So really, proper travel player, Justin Kluivert. He's been absolutely everywhere in Europe so far. Hopefully he's found a new home here at Bournemouth. As he get out to the left-hand side. It's Solanke in the left wing position. Enters the box on the left-hand side. Can he find a ball in towards Kerkez? He tries to in the 6-yard box towards the byline, but it's Robert Sanchez to get there first and take it away from the feet of Milos Kerkez. So Solanke getting out the left there. Sanchez, ball forward to Sterling. What a chested touchdown. Space on the right to Cole Palmer. He feeds him in the box. He want to get onto his left foot. He takes it on his left. He kicks it off Kelly. Corner kick for Chelsea. Just settling into the game now, Cole Palmer. In his new Chelsea strip. Couldn't quite cut onto his left foot, but did take it on his left. And he won the corner, the number 20. For Chelsea. Also part of that England under-21 side to win the Euros in the summer, Cole Palmer. Did score in the international break as well against Luxembourg. Enzo Fernandez, out-swinging corner towards the near post. Header won by Billing towards the edge of the box, where it'll be helped back in towards Sterling, who's playing it out to Jackson on the left. Tight angle, gets it across, it drops, it's still alive, it's not cleared. And eventually it is by Kerkez. It was poked towards goal by Jackson. It was saved by Neto, but he couldn't hold it. So I think Colwill was there to try and poke it home, but eventually it was cleared. For a Chelsea throw-in. Good ball from Fernandes. It was a header well won by Billing on the edge of the 6-yard box. It was kept alive by Gallagher. Out to Sterling, who fed the ball through to Jackson, who got it towards goal. It was well saved by Neto. He was palming it away as Colwill tried to bundle it home. And eventually Kerkez could clear. But it still means the pressure's on for Bournemouth because Chelsea is still in possession. They're camped inside the Bournemouth half with 25 minutes left to play. Bournemouth 0, Chelsea 0. Bournemouth the team in defence who's defending, and it's Chelsea the team with the ball. Disasi goes for a big switch out to the right towards Cole Palmer, goes over his head and can't be kept in by the former Manchester City winger, and it'll be a Bournemouth throw midway inside their own half. Milo Kirkez with the throw in, the left back for Bournemouth. Was at AC Milan previously before AZ Alkmaar. Kirkez. He was persuaded to join AC Milan back in early 2021 through Paolo Maldini's persuasion. But then he left AC Milan due to lack of opportunities in the first team. So he left for AZ Alkmaar, where he played 52 games last season. 17 of them was in the UEFA Conference League, including the qualifying games and then their run to the semi-finals where they were beaten by West Ham United. And he rejected a move to Lazio for Bournemouth. Kirkez, the left-back, highly respected in the European game as a really talented left-back at the age of 19, born in November of 2003. As Lewis Cook builds out from the back for Bournemouth, it's a short ball towards Christie, but he gets there ahead of Sterling, and Christie plays the ball in behind, through towards Justin Kluivert, but it's Robert Sanchez to meet it first, just in front of the 18-yard box, and Bournemouth tried to play quickly with Solanke receiving it from the throw-in, tackled by Cole Palmer, and now Chelsea decide to try and break. Enzo Fernandez midway inside his own half, forward into Sterling, feeds the overlap of Colwell, who enters and bursts into the Bournemouth half, into the final third, slows it down, tries to cross, blocked by Max Aarons, throwing for Chelsea, way inside the Bournemouth half. Great ball through the back four there by Christie into Kluivert, but it was well dealt with by Robert Sanchez coming off his line to deal with it. Here's Enzo Fernandez in the left wing position now for Chelsea. Ugo Chukwu, ball inside to Gallagher. He's got Sterling in support, plays it to him. 1-on-1 now with Cook, tries the cross, blocked by Cook. Corner kick for Chelsea. I will try and go through the Everton and Arsenal lineups when they are announced in around 5 minutes' time. Short corner by Fernandez to Sterling. Out to Gusto. Edge strikes it. It's a wild strike toward the top right corner. Just didn't get the bend inside to get it into that corner of the goal. And it's a goal kick for Bournemouth. Taken short by Fernandez to Sterling. It was eventually worked to Gusto, whose shot was wild. Didn't score many. Gusto didn't score in his 61 first-team appearances for Lyon, the club he was previously at, where he signed for Chelsea in January of this year for £30 million, but then was sent back out on loan to finish the season off at Lyon as Ugo Chukwu intercepts, heads it into Gallagher, edge of the box, lays it off to the right to Jackson, tries to poke it back towards Gallagher, comes off Sabani into the hands of Neto. Wasted chance for Chelsea. Really well intercepted by Ugo Chukwu, who sent Gallagher away, but then couldn't quite link up with Jackson to get the ball in the net. Now Bournemouth on halfway with Billing on the far left in front of the two technical areas. Has to go back to Kirkez and then once more to Kelly. Ball inside to Christie, takes it on the turn nicely, lays it off into Cook in the centre circle. Out wide right now to Max Aarons. Just inside the Chelsea half. Ball in behind again, looking for Solanke on the edge of the box. Meets Silva to it and concedes the throw-in as Silva tried to clear. 21 minutes to go. Plus added on time. Still 0-0. Looks like Bournemouth are going to make another change. Looks like it's going to be number 17, Luis Sinisterra, signed on loan from Leeds on deadline day. The Colombian, throwing down the line by Colwell, brought down by Fernandez, plays it inside to Sterling, who tries to burst away from Max Aarons in his own half, curls it out towards Cole Palmer. He's working himself away from Kirkez, running back towards his own goal here, Cole Palmer. He eventually releases it out to the left to Thiago Silva. Plays a ball forward towards halfway to Enzo Fernandez. 1-2 with Ugo Chukwu. Another 1-2 with the French midfielder and the ball forward. And it does drop in there eventually to Jackson. The number 15, 25 yards away from goal. Feeds it through to Gallagher. Edge of the box now to Palmer on the right-hand side. He's got the overlap of Gusto. He finds the French right back. Tries to play ball inside into the box towards Gallagher. Cut out by Bournemouth, but it drops back into the path of Gusto. He goes down the line to Gallagher. 1-on-1 with Kelly. Can't go around the Bournemouth centre-back. And it can be played forward by Billing to Tavernier. Now back to the edge of the 18-yard box to Kelly. Ball out to the left to Billing. And then back once more to Kirkez. Bournemouth start from the back with Cook on the edge of the 18-yard box. Out to the right to Sabani. Then into the goalkeeper Neto. Then out to left centre-back Lloyd Kelly. Being slowly closed down by Jackson. Great ball in between the lines. Finds Tavernier. passes the halfway line. He's got support to his left, and that's and that is Clivert. 1-2, gets the overlap, free kick though. Tavernier played it into Clivert and then made the overlapping run. Then Clivert tried to drive inside and was clipped. Tried to go on the inside there, Clivert. And then played the overlap, but Gusto caught him late. Free kick for Bournemouth. It's on the left-hand side, edge of the box. Good link-up play there between Clivert and Tavernier. It's going to be 2 changes. Senesi, the centre-back, is going to come on for Bournemouth, and so is Luis Sinisterra, the Colombian winger on loan from Leeds. Got 1 goal this season against Ipswich in the Championship. Great chance here. Lewis Cook stood over it. So is Marcus Tavernier. Could be an outswinger from Tavernier with the left foot on the left-hand side. It's a bit of a wild angle for a shot. It'd be a strike to get this in the back of the net from a shot, to get beyond Robert Sanchez, but we'll wait and see. Tavernier runs over it. Cook goes for a low one. Blocked on the 6-yard line by Chelsea man. Held back into the box by Kirkes. Headed away once more by Disasi. Always far as Kirkes for Bournemouth, who goes back towards his own half to Max Aarons. Ball forward and out to the right now to Justin Clivert, the number 19. Not got much support in red and black. And eventually Max Aarons gets there and offers support. Ball forward into Solanke. Back out to Clivert. Final third. Enters the box on the right-hand side. Takes it on the left-hand side. Then back out onto his right. Running out of room, but does work the cross all the way through Tavernier. Solanke misses it. He'll run right through to Gusto, clears off Kirkes, and Chelsea will survive. What a chance that is. Good, sneaky little ball in there by Clivert. It looked like he was running out of room there. He was facing Thiago Silva one-on-one, but he was able just to poke the ball into the box. Across goal it went. Solanke went for an overhead kick strike. It went beyond him and then also went away from Tavernier. And eventually it was a throw-in one. But Milo Kirkes, the left-back, has come off. He did have a booking. But Lloyd Kelly can play left-back. So Lloyd Kelly will move over to left-back and Senesi will go into centre-back. And Marcus Tavernier, who's making his first start after returning from a hamstring injury that was picked up at last season. He'll come off for Luis Sinisterra. Thrown by Gusto. Helped on by Palmer into the path of Gallagher. On the halfway line, he has to slow down. He's been pushed over by Lloyd Kelly, but he continues and gets it back to the path of Palmer, who's gone centrally. He's now drifting out wide left. Uses the support of Sterling, who will drive inside on his right foot, and he will try and strike towards the far post. He's never curling in enough to go into the far post, and that's a goal kick for Bournemouth. Chelsea's next change looks like it's going to be Ben Chilwell and Ian Maatson. Both left backs, so it'll be interesting to see who comes off for Chelsea. Bournemouth play out from the back. Senesi getting his first few touches from the bench. The centre back, he lifts it towards halfway to Christie. Chests it down beautifully to Lloyd Kelly. Down the line to Sinisterra. Tries to drive inside, gets away from one Chelsea man, and then bundled over to the ground by Ugo Chukwu. And there'll be a free kick for Bournemouth right on halfway on the left-hand side. Here are the lineups for Everton and Arsenal. We'll go through them in a minute as a quick ball's been played over the top towards the byline here for Sinisterra. Does keep it in. No, he doesn't keep it in. Goal kick. Bournemouth do like the quick free kicks. That one just didn't quite come off for them. So for Everton, it's Pickford in goal with Mikalenko, Tarkowski, Branthwaite and Ashley Young as a back four. Midfield four of McNeil, Gay, Onana and Danjuma. And then further ahead of them is Doucouré and Beto, their new striker. For Arsenal, they've gone for David Raya in goal. David Raya is in net for Arsenal. Not Aaron Ramsdale. Back four of Zinchenko, Gabriel, White and Saliba. Midfield three of Vieira, Rice and Ødegaard. And a forward three of Nketiah, Martinelli and Saka. Clivert, edge of the box. Trying to get away from Disasi. Brought down on the edge and that's a free kick. Clivert from that right-hand side was driving inside and he was brought down very cynically there from Axel Disasi, who will be picking up a booking there. Great running from Clivert towards the edge of the box. Wanted to try and enter the box. And as he kicked it forward looking for Sinisterra, Disasi went in with a big slide tackle and got none of the ball because it had been kicked away by Clivert towards Sinisterra. And he took out the whole man. Really bad slide tackle. Badly timed. And he's given a free kick away. Disasi picking up his second booking of the season in the Premier League. And with 14 minutes to play, decided on time, Bournemouth, literally 19 yards out. It is right on the edge of the box. If you look down centrally, it's just a few yards to the left. So it would usually favour a right footer. But Billing is stood over it as well as a left-footed option. Four-man wall for Chelsea of Gusto, Silva, Disasi, and I think Jackson as well. But could possibly be Ugo Chukwu. Billings over it. Clivert is as well. Clivert yet to score in a Bournemouth shirt. Billing yet to score this season. Even though he was their top goal scorer last season. Philip Billing scoring twice at the Vitality. Referee just sorting out the ball. It'll be a tough ask for either of these two Bournemouth players to get it up and over the wall, but we'll see if they can work any magic. David Coote is being instructed again to try and sort out this wall. I think there's a little bit of pushing and shoving between the Bournemouth players and Chelsea players, because Lloyd Kelly and Zabani are the two players for Bournemouth. Just stood in front of the Chelsea wall. David Coote is going to have a word here with Lloyd Kelly and Nicholas Jackson. They're the two main ones having a bit of pushing and shoving and throwing each other's arms around. They've had a word with each other. Hopefully we can now take this free kick as it remains 0-0. That could change though. Edge of the box. Literally 19 yards out. It is right on the edge. Billing stood over it. So is Justin Clivert. Who will take? Will there be a goal? It's going to be Billing to slam it towards goal, and he goes towards the keeper's side. Just drags it wide. He also understood that he was probably not going to get it up and over, so he just went with a strike towards that far post. It was going into that bottom corner, but it was blocked by Gallagher, so it will be a corner for Bournemouth. Good block from Gallagher, because that was aiming towards the bottom right corner there for Bournemouth. It's going to be an in-swinger from Ryan Christie, both arms raised. He's got the short option of Sinistera. He'll put it in instead. It's a deep one towards the far post, and he'll be collected beautifully with a good catch from Robert Sanchez. He'll try and set Chelsea away quickly as he rolls it out to Fernandes in a right-back position. Tries to play it forward quickly towards Jackson. He does find Jackson, who gets away from the first Bournemouth challenge. Down the right-hand side, with a ripped shirt, Jackson continues. And he's then brundled over fairly by Senesi, who will then feed it down the left for Solanke. How the tables have turned. Solanke down the Bournemouth left, one-on-one with Ugo Chukwu. He's got the overlap of Billing. Feeds it to the Danish international, who will try and cross. Low ball into Solanke in the box, works himself away from Gallagher, and it's a shot saved by Sanchez. And away it goes towards Max Aarons at right back. Forward into Christie. Chance still alive. Plays it in towards the byline to Clivert. Pulled back, deflects into the skies to Fernandes, who heads away. Only as far as the edge of the box to Christie, who lets Cook take over. Ball forward in the box for Clivert. Works onto his left foot. Back on his right foot. Shoots. Blocked by Colwill. Block goes out to the right side to Aarons. Back inside to Clivert. In the box once again. Away from Fernandes. Thinks it's towards the far post. Header won by Solanke, and it's wide of the post. Big chances there for Bournemouth. The chance is not taken. Good overlap there from Billing as he worked with Solanke. Got it back into the striker, who found himself with a shooting opportunity, and it was saved by the outstretched right foot of Robert Sanchez. And then Bournemouth couldn't quite get the ball in the net again. They worked it for another chance for Solanke, and that header was wide of the post. Two changes for Chelsea with 10 minutes to go. Levi Colwill is being replaced by Ben Chilwell, and Enzo Fernandez is being brought off for Ian Martson. Spent last season on loan with Burnley, where they won the championship. He was meant to go back to Burnley on a loan deal with an option to buy of £31.5 million, but Ian Martson didn't want to leave Chelsea. He wanted to stay, so he's going to get his opportunity off the bench. He can play midfield. He played in midfield against Wimbledon in the second round of the League Cup, where Chelsea won 2-1. So he can play in midfield, Ian Martson, but he's usually a left back. So it looks like Cole will be, and there's a booking here. David Coote giving a booking to one of Pochettino's coaching staff. So Colwill off, with Enzo Fernandez as well, and Ian Maatsen, and Ben Chilwell will come on. It is quite ridiculous how it is still 0-0. We've had a lot of chances. It's not been a boring game at all. I've thoroughly enjoyed watching this one as Thiago Silva heads forward the Robert Sanchez goal kick. It drops to Sterling, and Ian Maatsen will take over. Gets the ball in behind for Sterling towards the byline. Tries the first time cross, blocked by Aarons. It'll be a corner for Sterling and Chelsea. Chilwell's gone over to take it. It'll be an outswinger from the Chelsea vice-captain. Did start all 4 of the previous Premier League games this season, but he was dropped to the bench for this one. Cross goes in. It's a lofted one towards the 12-yard, towards the penalty spot, headed away by Bournemouth. Drops to Conor Gallagher on the edge. He works it back out beautifully out to Chilwell. Tries to get a ball in behind, and it's a blocked pass by Aarons, and it'll be a throw-in for Chelsea to be taken by Chilwell. Still in the final third here, so Bournemouth have still got to defend strongly. Thrown into Maatsen. Finds Chilwell again towards the byline. He just about gets the cross, and it's a wicked one. It's a header won by Jackson. 6 yards out towards the bottom right corner. It lacked power, so it could be saved by Neto. Another good chance. Well worked there by Chilwell from the throw-in. Just about able to get the cross in as Sinisterra was trying to stop it. And it came off the head of Jackson. And it wasn't very powerful, the header. So it was an easy save for Neto in the end. Bournemouth try and get forward quickly, ball heavy. It's gone straight through to Robert Sanchez in the Chelsea goal. Rolled out. By Sanchez to Disasi. Sanchez ball to the edge of the box to Ugo Chukwu. And it's risky play, but he was able to pass it into Disasi in the 18-yard box for Chelsea. Now out to Chilwell. Down the line it goes. Sterling will try and meet it, and he will get there ahead of Max Aarons, but he's tackled strongly by Lewis Cook. And it'll be a throw in there for Chelsea, still inside their own half. But as well, if we look at the stats of this game, this is why it's not been a boring game, and we've had lots of chances. Bournemouth have had 11 shots, 4 on target. Chelsea have had 12 shots, 5 on target. Chelsea have had more of the ball, but both teams have gone for it. It's not through not trying, this being 0-0. Just that no chances just come off for either team. Chelsea have a throw in front of the technical areas on the far side here. Thrown into Gallagher inside his own half. Just about shifts it backwards into Thiago Silva in his own box. He works their way from Solanke and he finds Sanchez. And with 6 minutes to go, plus added on time, and it's still 0-0. This will leave Bournemouth with 0 wins in their first 5, and it will leave Chelsea with 1 win in their first 5. Long ball forward, looking for Jackson. Header won by Sabani. Back forward by Palmer to Sterling. Nods it into Jackson. Then finds the run of Palmer. Running at goal. Edge of the box. Needs to try and shoot. Lays it off out wide to Sterling, who gets it back in towards goal. Palmer saved by Neto. Header won by Aarons. Big block from Senesi. Still on the edge of the box now with Jackson. The pressure not dealt with. Jackson 1-2 with Maatsen. Tackled by Aarons. Drops to the edge to Christie. Dribbles away from Ugo Chukwu. And the breaks on. Cliver on the right. Bearing down on goal. 1-on-1 with Disasi. Tries to get it across to Solanke. He brings it down in the box. It's a heavy touch and he can't keep it in. How is this game 0-0? Chelsea really should have scored there. Badly. The break was on. Palmer should have shot on the edge of the box, but decided to feed it out to Sterling on the right-hand side. Took him well wide of the goal. The pullback by Sterling was able to get to Cole Palmer, who volleyed it at goal. It was a good, strong right hand from Neto, and then Maatsen's volley was really well blocked by Senesi. And in the end, Bournemouth went up the other end to try and counter-attack, but it was defended well by Chelsea after the Solanke heavy touch. Gusto at right back, getting forward in the box. He's gone down under the challenge of Kelly. He's gone down again, Gusto, holding his left leg, but nothing given by the referee. It'd be a goal kick. Gusto tried to get him behind there in the box. I think there was a slight kick from Kelly as he tried to kick the ball, but nothing for a penalty or anything like that. As we've got 4 minutes to go, still 0-0. We've had bags of chances for both sides. Chelsea have probably been the better team and have probably had the better chances, but they've just not been able to find the back of the net. And it will mean that Chelsea would have gone 2 games now without a goal. Wasn't able to score at home before the international break to Forest, losing that one. And now away at Bournemouth, a place where they usually do quite well. In the previous 15 Premier League meetings between these two teams, Chelsea have won 10 of them. Only had 1 draw, and that was at Bournemouth, 2-2 in February of 2020. Billing, fouled by Gallagher just inside the Chelsea half. Free kick for Bournemouth. Just got there ahead of Conor Gallagher there, Philip Billing to win the free kick. That'll be a free kick taken by Senesi, the Bournemouth substitute, out to left back Kelly. Back to Senesi inside his own half. Just about shifts it away from the press of Jackson. Back into these 18-yard box of Neto. 3 minutes to go. Ball sided on time. Ball forward to Cook. Out wide left to Senesi. In the left back area. Forward into left back Kelly. Ball in behind into Philip Billing. Really well found there. And he's bearing down on goal. Down the left-hand side. He's got the pull-back option of Kluivert. Tries to find him, but he just avoids the Dutchman. And it'll fall out to Max Aarons from right back, who gets forward on the edge. Crosses it high. Header by Solanke. Blocked by Disasi. Cleared by the centre-back. And he'll go up towards Jackson, who's battling with Senesi. And he'll get there ahead of Senesi. But then he loses it to Kelly, who runs around Palmer. Charging forward here, Lloyd Kelly. Taking it away from Palmer. In the final third, goes back into Christie. Inside to Cook. In the centre circle for Bournemouth as they restart from the back. Sabani dribbles away from Martin. Finds Christie again. 25 yards away from goal. Looking towards the Bournemouth left. Shifts it out to Kelly, the left back. Got options ahead of him. Goes back into Christie. Here's Sinistera. One-on-one with Gusto. Enters the box on the left-hand side. Offering too much of the ball to Palmer, who offers help to tackle. And he wins the free kick there. Palmer, well won. Doing his defensive duties well. Another change for Bournemouth. 2 minutes to go. Ryan Christie, who's probably been one of my man of the matches. I think he's been a really good, energetic midfielder in there for Bournemouth today. He'll be replaced by David Brooks. Really, really inspirational story for David Brooks, the Welshman. Scored his first goal for his country back after his return from cancer. He was diagnosed with stage 2 Hodgkin lymphoma in October 2021. And then was given the all clear in May of 2022. He scored his first goal on his return against Swansea in the League Cup. And then before the international break, he scored in the last Premier League game against Brentford. He put them 2-1 up, and then he also scored for Wales in the international break. So really inspiring stories. He's making his 50th appearance in the Premier League, David Brooks. He's got 3 goals very recently. Can he add to that? Cook down the right channel for Kluivert towards the corner flag. He's met by Chilwell. He gets away from Chilwell. Gets it to the edge of the box to Brooks. Try to get a shot on his left. Works it back onto his right foot. Then on his left again. Feeding it through to Solanke, who shoots. It's blocked by the back of Disasi. Drops to Bournemouth on the edge of the box. Worked out to the right to Kluivert. Comes off the chest of Chilwell. And the blocked cross goes out for a throw-in for the Cherries. Bournemouth have definitely been the better side the last 5 or so minutes. Max Aarons throws it into Brooks, the number 7 for Bournemouth. Back into Aarons in the final third. Just has to go back 10-15 yards with a pass to Lewis Cook. Then back into their own half to start again with Sabani. About to find out added on time as he goes across to Senesi. Ball forward. It's a great ball forward to Sinistera. Feeds the overlap of Kelly. Across goal in the 6-yard box. Blocked again by Disasi. Mix up there, but eventually it is collected by Sanchez. And 8 minutes have added on time as Sanchez throws it out to Chilwell, who will dive and dart forward. Enters the Bournemouth half. He's got Sterling in support and he feeds it into Sterling. 1-on-1 with Aarons into the final third. Plays it into the edge of the box to Martin. Fakes the first shot. Jackson lays it off to Gallagher, 22 yards away from goal. Out to the right now to Gusto. Lifted ball towards the far post where it's gone beyond Sterling. He will keep it alive though. On the left hand side, everything to his right. Plays the ball inside towards Ugo Chukwu, but Sterling was offside as he collected the ball. There'll be a free kick for Bournemouth. Just won't be a minute. Sorry, just had to make a quick little phone call there. We're back with Chelsea in possession of the ball. Bournemouth went long with Neto and he went right through to the Chelsea goalkeeper Sanchez. 8 minutes of added on time. We've played a minute and 40 of it. I don't know how this game's 0-0. I'm the first to criticise the 0-0 if it's been really boring and the quality's been bad. But both teams have not sat back. They've both gone for the goal. They've both tried to win the match. There's a bad ball there out towards Chilwell. Midway inside the Bournemouth half is misplaced by Leslie Ugo Chukwu. And it'll be a Bournemouth throwing inside their own half. But both sides have gone for this game. Like I say, Bournemouth 12 shots to Chelsea 14. Both sides have had big chances, but none have been taken. Throwing down the line to Brooks on halfway, outside of the boot ball, looking in behind for Solanke. Silva will get there first, and he'll play it backwards into his own goalkeeper there, Robert Sanchez. Solanke will try and close him down, but he's just able to clear into the Bournemouth half. Down the right-hand side, looking for Palmer. Header won by Kelly. Helped on by Billing. Brought down by Sinistera. Poor touch allows Gusto to win it back for Chelsea. It's now Gallagher to Ugo Chukwu. And it'll be Chelsea to build from the back, just inside their own half currently. Works it into the Bournemouth half through Raheem Sterling. Then the ball inside to Ugo Chukwu. Goes for a switch towards the right. Great ball into the final third for Gusto, who gets forward from right back towards the corner flag. Fakes the first cross. Plays it simple and behind him to Palmer. He'll try and drive inside towards the edge of the box. He's sprinting away from Billing. Looking towards the Chelsea left-hand side, but there's no options for him, so he has to turn around and go back out to the right-hand side to Ugo Chukwu. Ball in behind towards the byline, looking for Gusto, who just about keeps it in, but his poke ball in to the box is well collected there by Neto. And he'll be quickly thrown out towards the left-hand side for Bournemouth for Sinistera. Inside it goes to Solanke in the centre circle. Bursts forward into the Chelsea half. He's got options to his left and right. Feeds it to David Brooks on the left. On the edge of the box. Lifted ball in towards the right-hand side, but it's cut out by Chilwell, cleared by Chelsea. And Bournemouth's chance is gone for the minute as Sabani battles with Jackson. And Sabani wins it. Aarons goes down with a head injury. And it'll be a free kick for Bournemouth. Aarons went in with his head and he was met by Jackson. He still got a ripped shirt. His shirt was ripped, I think, by Senesi about 10 minutes ago. Yeah, Nicholas Jackson just barges straight into Max Aarons. A fairly given free kick there for the former Norwich fullback, who did win 2 championship titles while he was at Norwich, and now he's back in the Premier League. Max Aarons has previously lost a couple seasons ago to Chelsea 7-0 at Stamford Bridge when he was at Norwich. But with 4 minutes to go in this game, it looks like we're heading for a share of the points, but who knows as Lewis Cook takes this free kick. Long diagonal looking for, I don't know who's he looking for there. We were looking for Senesi, but went straight over the Argentine's head and out for a goal kick. Really poor free kick there from Lewis Cook, formerly of Leeds United. Lewis Cook hasn't been given player of the match, and I think he's been good. I think those two in midfield have been really strong for Bournemouth, Lewis Cook being one of them, and then Ryan Christie was also really good in that midfield as well for Bournemouth. He came off for David Brooks around 6 or 7 minutes ago, but he was also very impressive. As Chilwell, as the ball breaks to Chilwell and then he loses it, try to play ball forward towards Jackson. Now Kluivert spinning and being pulled down by Chilwell, and Chilwell will be booked for that. Very cynical, just inside the Bournemouth half there as Bournemouth wanted to counter-attack, but Chelsea just pulling the Chilwell pulling the shirt of Kluivert, stopping Bournemouth's possible counter-attack. So we've got 3 minutes left to play. Sabani will take a diagonal switch out to the left for Bournemouth. Header won by Gusto, headed down to Palmer, midway inside his own half here. He's been pressured here by Kelly. Tries to play back towards Gusto and it deflects off Sinistera. And it'll be a throw-in taken quickly by Palmer. Into the right back, Gusto clears with his weaker foot up towards Martin. Header won down though by Cook, can't be collected though by Billing. It's now Chelsea just inside their own half. Ball forward by Gallagher into Palmer, great ball as well. Cole Palmer feeds it to the left to Chilwell. He's getting forward into the Bournemouth half. Lays it off out to the left to Sterling. He's got the overlap of Chilwell. Decides to not use it and play a ball inside to Ugo Chukwu. He goes out to the right now to Disasi. Gusto. He's got Palmer making a run forward. He finds Gallagher instead towards the corner flag. He's one-on-one with Billing. Lays it off into Gusto. In the Bournemouth in the Chelsea final third, attacking the Bournemouth defensive third. As they've worked it out to the left now to Chilwell. All Bournemouth players behind the ball as Thiago Silva has it in the centre circle. Out to the right to Disasi. Makes a run forward as he lays it off to Gallagher and he gets the return. Disasi, the centre-back, low ball in. And it's a corner he's won. Deflects off Kelly. Well won there by Axel Disasi. Bringing it forward from centre-back and then making a 1-2 there. And getting a crossing from the right wing position. We're just over a minute to go. Chelsea take a short corner. Sterling on the edge. Back out to Chilwell on the byline. Lifts a ball in towards Martin. Can't meet the header. It will drop out to the edge of the box on the Chelsea left and it will be collected by Gusto on his weaker side. Onto his right foot. A wicked ball in. Header won by Senesi. And it will drop to Clivert on the left. He'll be chased down here by Chilwell. He'll keep it away from the former Leicester full-back. And he'll try and feed a ball out wide to the right side. Lewis Cook will get there. In a right wing position, chance for Bournemouth, crosses it towards the far post, and it's a catch that's made by Sanchez, and it's a rolling ball, rolls it out to Disasi. Chelsea want a winner. It'll be cruel, but it'll be dramatic. Out to the left to Martin, crosses the halfway line. He's got Palmer in support to his left. Jackson's up there as well, so is Sterling. He finds Palmer, back into Martin. Palmer again, into the centre of the field with Ugo Chukwu on the centre circle. Again, Bournemouth have got bodies behind the ball. Halfway line with Silva. Out to the left to Gusto. Not quite relocating himself to right back. He's still on the left-hand side here. As Ugo Chukwu finds it out to the right to Disasi. He got forward previously to win the previous corner. He tries to do another 1-2 there with a run forward, but Palmer opts against using that run. And we have played the 8 minutes and there's no chance for a final attack. And at the Vitality Stadium, between Bournemouth and Chelsea, it finishes 0-0 here. Scratching my head, personally, for how that has ended 0-0. We've had chances galore in both halves, for both sides. But in the end, down the south coast, at the Vitality Stadium, it ends Bournemouth 0, Chelsea 0. Bournemouth ended up having 13 shots with 4 on target. Chelsea had 14 shots, 6 on target. Probably a little bit of a story of the game there, not getting all their shots on target. Chelsea dominated possession, but Bournemouth were dangerous on the counter-attack. But it ends evens here at the Vitality Stadium. It does mean that Bournemouth go to 15th in the table. No wins in their first 5, but they have picked up 3 draws along their 2 losses. And then for Chelsea, they are stuck in 14th position. 1 win in their first 5, and that came at home to Luton. So both sides under new managers struggling to gel, but from that, they can both defend, they can both attack. But just that final third, that final chance, both teams just need to work on to get the ball in the back of the net. It was an exciting game. Chelsea had the fair share of the chances in the first half. Nicholas Jackson hitting the post with the most memorable chance. But in the second half there, both teams had fantastic chances to take the game. Neither could get the ball in the back of the net. So, on this Sunday afternoon, it's Bournemouth 0, Chelsea 0. Loads of chances, but no goals. And both sides are lingering lowly at the bottom half of the Premier League table. But I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. At the Vitality, it ends 0-0. My next commentary is on Wednesday night, Bayern Munich taking on a travelling Manchester United. And then my next commentary after that is next Saturday, 8 o'clock. Manchester United travelling to Burnley as well. But here at the Vitality, it ends Bournemouth 0, Chelsea 0. Loads of chances for both sides. Both sides couldn't get that final shot in the back of the net. Both goalkeepers performing well. Both defences dealing with both chances well. And at the end of the game, it ends Bournemouth 0, Chelsea 0.